Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. My head is in 100 different positions right now. It was an extremely busy last 24 hours of news. Yeah, I'm ready to talk a little bit. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. Had a little late waking up before hopping on here, but I'm excited. Yes, we do have a lot to talk about. Um, yeah, and two shows to cover on top, not just everything else, but two shows to talk about. So, yeah, we got a busy night ahead of us. It seems like.
Well, just as a warm up, I'm going to start first with the 2-minute video that Cardona released yesterday. It looks like Matt Cardona is debuting a new character. It looks like the complete Cardona. I'm kind of hoping he's a good guy because with Nick down right now, GCW needs a huge face at the top of the company. And after Mance is done with the championship, because he's doing an amazing job, but when the time comes, I'm thinking Cardona has my vote here. So what are your thoughts about this new, have you seen the 2-minute video?
Yeah, I actually watched it. I like how he does that. He does always kind of, not always, kind of. He does constantly upgrade his character, make evolutions to it, and yeah, a face version would be kind of nice. I think it's later. I have it in my notes. We'll talk about Deathmatch Royalty where I'm kind of at with that. So a nice change of character for Cardona would be nice, and a little bit more serious. Style heel, if he does stay heel, would be beneficial in my opinion.
Gonna start right here. Clown 13420. Evening, everyone. Evening to you, Clown. Thanks for
Good
joining us
evening,
tonight.
Clown.
There's already 150 in here across I don't know how
Oh,
many
shit.
platforms. So we're rolling tonight. It's going to be a real fun night. I just wanted to mention about the Cardona situation. It's been a while since we've had a face world champion. Not since June 4th of 2023 when Masha lost the belt to Blake Christian. So I'm just saying, once Mance's run's over.
I think we kind of somehow are still on the same wavelength here. I have notes later on, not necessarily about champions, about like heels and kind of what they do for the faces and what we're seeing in GCW as of late. That kind of goes in with the Cardona character change as well. So yeah, I have a lot to talk about there later on.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild night for sure. I put in here this is my last little thing about the Cardona situation. I wrote here that Cardona is someone who can bring in bigger names and have a solid WWE style match with a fellow veteran. So this is something I want. I think this is something would be fantastic for GCW and fans, but this may be the end result if Deathmatch Royalty argues over differences of who runs Deathmatch Royalty. I still feel like there's an oncoming Mance versus Matt, butting of the heads happening here soon. I didn't know if you had any comments on that.
I do, because later on too, I have it in my notes. I don't know if you caught it. They flat out mentioned Mance is the leader. I think Cardona was the one who said it. Like, there is no question about it. Mance is the leader of Deathmatch Royalty. And I thought that was a fun wrinkle that we haven't really heard definitively who was the champ. We just kind of always assumed, but in that, I don't know. Like, some people maybe assumed the champ ran it. Some people maybe thought it was still Cardona pulling the strings of everything. But I loved how they made mention of that, and I do hope it does turn out into something here.
Well, we'll see what happens. I like something fresh, so the king of reinvention is going to come out here and do something new, and this is supposed to be the complete Cardona. Really looking forward to seeing what he has in the chamber on that one. Just want to run down some listeners here. We have good evening, gents, to Alan. Thanks for showing up. Reed Harris Cooper. He says, strap your seatbelt in.
Look at that new picture. Maybe we're used to seeing the Twitter or the Twitch one because he
fucking
comes in
stud.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that picture there.
Yeah. Great one says, I still think Effie is next in line, and I can't see that changing. You're shaking your head there.
A lot, yeah. That's yeah, we got, like I said, we got a lot to talk about, and seems like other people want to talk about the same stuff because Effie interaction with Mance Warner during this weekend was fun as well.
Alan says that he feels that Cardona will go out of the Indies as a heel, which would be a very strong lead. Go back to WWE or AEW, become a face then. So then let's see, at the great one there, I will let's see, Nick Manoa, thank you for being with us, man. He said, I'm an old man, I'll catch the replay, but sending much love to you. Thank you so much, Nick. We're all old men here at the age of 25 is our age.
Yeah.
25, man.
I'll take that.
It's on evening, gentlemen. Yeah, we have chat flying tonight. Thank you to everyone who come in. We're at 250 listeners already, so it's popping tonight. So I'm gonna get into this next little part here. We had a wild week, as per Brett's tweet. I'm just going with what we know publicly here. Nick's healing, so thank goodness he's getting help for that. And for someone who's ill, it's the best place for them to be. So everyone at Game Changer Weekly just wants to send along their best wishes to the king until he's back on his throne. So then it got a little wild here, but Brett was just saying publicly, like, hey, you know what? There's some things going on he doesn't like. I don't know what a better way to put it is, but he brought it out there in the public. There's a lot of people that have a lot of questions. I feel like if there's a screenshot or if there's something going on, by all means, bring it out there. Perfectly fine. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not saying anything more than that. I'm just saying, let the fans know, by all means. And don't forget, Brett, and if you're listening, you are the big swinging dick of the independent wrestling world. And if bullshit's out there, it's okay to call it out, and differences do happen. But at the same time, don't get your feet too messy in the mud. So hopefully he's taking the high road, doing the right thing. We do love the guy a lot. And yeah, we just have some wild shit going on. Do you have any comments on that whatsoever?
I don't want to really speculate because it kind of is speculation, and I don't want to speak falsely now and then be proven wrong later, even though I do that many other times for many other reasons. This is not one reason I want to be caught saying the wrong thing. So
right.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I always hope Nick Gage is getting healthy, coming back, and like Brett said, hopefully he does come back home to his place, GCW, and yeah, I with NGI coming up too, it's kind of a bummer that he's not gonna, as of right now, it doesn't seem like he's going to kind of be around and out there kind of helping out, promoting his own tournament for GCW. But I do hope the best for him, and whatever is going on with all the other bullshit, just I don't know. I'm right there with Reed. I was about to say, yeah, I don't want to falsely say anything, so I just hope Nick does get better and does wrestle again in GCW here.
And on my end, I guess I'll just say here that everything is temporary and it'll only be a matter of time, but everything lands on its feet the way it's supposed to. So there are a lot of things that are bigger than pro wrestling, and we try to respect that as much as possible. We just wanted to talk about this for a quick minute because it would be so awkward to, we don't want to not address the elephant in the room in at least somewhat of a situation. But of course, if anybody wants to say anything or bring it up here in chat, of course we'll share it. But yeah, and also the situation with Zilla that Brett had brought out there was an interesting one. It sounded like Brett was just saying, hey, you know what, Zilla was just asking for a lot. And I think it's fair to say, in the opinion of professionals, that they said it is a lot to ask for someone who is newer. And I think that's fair to say. I saw a lot of messages out there from people. There was a couple about Terry Funk. I saw a couple about Matt Tremont, where he had just wrestled a death match, and a couple hours later, you see him literally carrying one of the corner posts on his shoulder. So everybody handles things differently. I'm not going to go into too much speculation on that also, but here we are again, where I just hope everything kind of rattles and then settle like an earthquake. You hope everything just kind of settles into its place in time. But again, this is temporary, and in a month we'll be talking about something completely different. So that's why it's one of those things where it's better not to touch too much, but at least talk about what's going on publicly, because I think that's fair to say, and then just leave it at that. So anything else you want to say about it? I know you're kind of hands off.
Yeah. Yeah. Hands off.
Hope for the best.
I get
Hope
that.
for
I
the
don't
best.
know. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it here. Okay, so what do you say we get into the first show of the night?
Yeah. Real fast. The reason I was laughing with the Zilla one, or when you
Sure.
said, I thought Brett Street was about Logan Paul, like less than 40 matches. Like he hasn't got to put in his work and learn the history and who came before him. I thought that's who he was talking about. I saw
You'll
someone else
never
make
know.
that joke, and I was laughing at that one. I was like, that was a clever one. Whoever that was, I gotta give credit to. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, man, this is I'll just leave it there. My mind is like in 100 different positions on 100 different things right now, and it's better just to truck along.
Yeah, that's another one too. You don't know all the details either, but that
No,
came out
no.
just a couple
Yep.
hours ago too. So
I only comment on what I know publicly.
yeah. Uh, all right. So our first show we are covering tonight is GCW Aura from Harris Casino in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Ooh, yeah, Harris Casino. Okay, so Emil opens the show in a badass Sandman shirt. He's welcoming us to Philadelphia. I love Harris Ballroom. We haven't been here since the Collective, I believe. We have golden walls, spaced white lighting, red glowing ceilings, and beautiful chandeliers. They're also fighting on carpet tonight. I found that interesting, but this could be a new home for GCW in my eyes, and I wouldn't complain. My only question is how difficult is licensing in Pennsylvania? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly didn't realize that was the same venue. It kind of looked different to me. Uh, okay,
Oh,
there we go.
apologize.
There's great one. There we
Thank
go.
you.
There's great one. I was gonna say, like, yeah, that one seemed like a little different. So that's why I was like, oh, that's kind of I didn't realize, and I wonder what differences happened. But yeah, I thought the venue looked all right.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. The fans filled in the background on Hardcam, and I feel like that's greatly needed for all venues. It really made the place look fuller on TV. So I thought that was worth mentioning. Hardcam is directly lined up with the ring ropes. I'm noticing there are more cam switches. Ringside cam is moving with the action. So if there's a punch going to the left, they kind of, to the left, to the right, that action type of camera work just wasn't there a couple months ago. I also think camera persons have done a good job working in concert around the ring. I've seen them do a damn good job working together there. The graphics, video packages were fantastic. The old Collective canvas was being used here. Hear me out. Get a black mat with a white GCW right in the center, just done kind of thing. Not exactly the easiest to travel with, but at the same time, it's better than an old worn mat from months ago. And it looks better to what would be new potential fans.
I like the black mat as well. That was one of my favorite mats. Was the old Ring of Honor, the black and red one. So yeah, but just seeing an all black one with the GCW and white letter, that would actually be really, really good. Good mat there.
Reed Harris Cooper, PA has rules about deathmatch that I don't know many shows they'll run the casino. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jim, we'll get him in here. May was my first show. Congratulations. I hope you had a lot of fun. Yep.
Was it Aura? This one too. Yep.
Oh hell yeah. That's how it starts. You get on your first one and then all of a sudden it's just go after that.
Oh yeah. That that'll be traveling here soon.
So yeah, that ran us directly into our first match.
Our first match of the evening was Alec Price versus Griffin McCoy.
Oh my goodness. What an interesting start on this one here. I think Alec has found a spot as an opener. I really do. He's been a one-man hype machine. His energy has been unmatched throughout the whole, well, for better words, match. He's putting in real effort, and it really shows here. I also want to make a little flip that I've never done before. I'm learning to appreciate Griffin McCoy. I don't know what it is. It's just I've noticed I've been rough on him. I seen something in this match, and I'm starting to get it. I don't love the guy's character. I just don't dislike him anymore. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. McCoy had a killer torture rack into a sit-down power bomb that I wanted to make sure to mention. And just go right here to our winner, Alec Price. What were your thoughts on this match, man?
First of all, I liked Alec Price's new gear. And Veda
Yeah.
mentioned that on commentary was a good start to the night. I liked how when Griffin comes out and he does like that whole wow, my God, was it big guy time? Oh my God, I forgot what it was
Uh,
already.
uh,
Top guy
Damn it.
time, top guy time. There
Top
we go.
guy time.
I like how Veda goes, how can it be top guy time when you have no watch on? I just every time they make fun of Griffin McCoy, I die laughing. And I'm right. I don't know. I think Griffin has improved in ring. I think his character's just gone to shit. Like, unfortunately, I think that's like hurting his credibility right now. I see the growth in ring. The matches have gotten better. They're different dynamics, and they're obviously a little bit longer now than what he was doing at the JCW days. But I just think his character right now is just like the worst kind of heat. Not like it's like the annoying heat that like Dom Mysterio kind of had when he first started getting that heat. But I think that's what's hurting him right now. I hope he kind of finds some way to switch up the character and kind of gets rid of that kind of hokiness that even the commentary is making fun of and discrediting the character. I hope he just finds something solid that he could build upon.
Do you think it's a storyline he's missing, or do you feel it's a tweak to the performance that he's giving us?
It's his character
From a character aspect.
I think it's his character. I think in ring he's gotten like improved, and I've noticed that. But the character, I think, just totally discredits him and like does kind of more harm right now after all the growth he's kind of done. He's getting the heat, but in my opinion, I think it's the opposite of the like. It's kind of like the oh my God, this is annoying, go away heat. Not like oh like he's really a badass kind of wrestler, and we just gotta like boo him because he's tougher than us or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't think it's the right kind of heat that he wants at the moment. But at least he's getting more heat now than what he was. But I feel like even the next night he comes out and like the crowd is just sitting there, hands crossed, and he's still trying to do the top guy thing, and like they're just like yeah whatever kind of thing. And like that was like the night I noticed I'm like ooh something might have to change here.
Can't put your finger on it, but you know there's something that's not working. So you know.
Yeah.
I wrote here 10 minutes well spent too.
Yeah, I like the in ring and Alec as the opener. I wrote here a solid decision here, making him. He seems to be a strong opener, and this match was a strong start to the night, and I'm glad that he got the win here.
Also, I'm still impatiently waiting to see when Cole comes back, so I know Alec's direction. Just wanted to put that out there because Cole is really posting some awesome tweets online, and it looks like he's physically beyond where he was when we last seen him in ring in Indianapolis.
It's going to be Swole Cole when he comes back. That's going to be his new character. He's
Swole Cole.
Swole Cole. Like, yeah, he does look like he's getting his body in shape for
Swole Radrick.
I like it. Yes. Yeah,
you heard it here first.
I'm excited to see what he comes back with and how he looks, and if maybe he changes the in like not the character, but like maybe in ring and comes back with some new moves and stuff. Because I think that would kind of help him out, especially like with some if he's coming back all muscle, add some more muscle moves to it and help show that physique off and get that character over as Swole Cole. I'm enjoying that.
Swole Radrick.
Swole Radrick. That one's better.
Love it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it a lot. Let me put my microphone back where it belongs here. It blew out on me when I was laughing real hard there. Yeah, he's coming back. I know he's doing something with some kind of a jacket with patches, because I know not too long ago he was looking for people who wanted to do sponsorships for patches. Game Changer Weekly will be on there prominently. But yeah, if anybody else has a business or anything they want to promote, definitely get out there and get a hold of him, DM him, and let him know. He'll give you some prices on everything.
I'm right here with Great One. I have to see at the War Games. He has to hit the double springboard DDT. I'm right there with him on that move.
Dude, that 720 is so freaking sick.
That would just add to his aura right now with that move. All right, our second match. Oh, speaking of aura, that was aura. No pun intended. Not paying attention. Was Bobby Flacco versus Jeffrey John.
Oh, Bobby Flacco is out first, and I'm noticing the fans are getting him. Like they're finally really getting him. You see a lot more hands in the air. Hey, that was not there before. Listener Frank, who we've had on the show a couple times and also in chat before, he said that Flacco's moved from a local performer to more of a GCW regular. I also wanted to mention here, it's good seeing Jeffrey back. He was last seen on GCW TV on June 14th at Lights Out. I wrote here with about 7 minutes in the match. It was very quick, a lot of wrestling. There was no fighting outside the rings or weapons involved, so there really wasn't much for me to write about there. Bobby was using referee perch as a weapon, and he almost got a clothesline at one point. I'll go right to the finish. We have our winner as Bobby Flacco with a double stomp to the Babushka Baron's chest for 3. Again, 7 minutes long, little bit of a short match, but got the point across, I think, between these two.
Yeah, I wrote it was a fun, quick match. I think both have improved, and I was happy to see them wrestling in a one-on-one setting because normally every time we see them, they're always in multi-person person matches. So I think seeing them on one-on-one was cool and a different dynamic for both of them. And I wrote like Bobby Flacco's just go go go, and his high energy style is fun. I think that's what's kind of helping him. Like he just like went from one corner, did a splash, went to another corner, did a splash, did like a DVD, went to like he just go go go. And I think that's why the fans are starting to get behind him because he's kind of like and following Alec Price after the first match. That was kind of like a little mini Alec Price coming following up behind him. I thought that was really cool. But Jeffrey John, to me, I think Jeffrey John was the one that stepped up the most in a singles match because we usually see him in multi-person, but now we're starting to see a little bit more of Bobby Flacco and his continued improvement, and to see Jeffrey John kind of follow suit was cool to see, in my opinion, in this match.
Well said.
All right. Did I skip the third match? Yes, I did. Oh, I have.
You fell asleep, didn't you?
No, I'm out of order. Because like I did kind of stop watching or taking notes, but watched the show. And then I came back and my notes are
all right. That's it, guys. The show's over. Where's the exit?
I am fired. All right. Next match was Brooke Havoc versus Tasha Steelz.
Here we are with another very quick 7-minute match. I wrote down here that Havoc had an awesome black and white jersey with Havoc written on the back. This is her 4th match out of 5 or maybe 6 dates that she had planned for GCW. The last time we'd seen former TNA Knockouts champion Tasha was for the Culture 2022 for the Knockouts title versus Big Swole. Have to say for her, welcome back. She's always a great addition. Again, a 7-minute match. There wasn't a lot noteworthy here. No kidding. It wasn't that there wasn't anything special. It's just that it was a lot of wrestling. It was a great drop kick. It was a great, you know what I mean? So not much to report here outside of the ordinary. Our winner here was Brooke Havoc when she took a Tasha Steelz roll up and forwarded it into her own roll up for 3. So there was our winner, Brooke Havoc.
Yeah, I wrote too. I enjoyed like the back and forth, as you said. It was like wrestling, but like it was like a lot of reversals and counters, and I enjoyed that part of it. It seemed like they both like stylistically they matched up, but it seemed like they wrestled a lot before. The chemistry was pretty good. But I another good showcase for Brooke during this little residency here. And anytime I see Tasha Steelz come back in GCW, I enjoy her. I think she's kind of underrated out whenever she's out wrestling in other companies. I think whenever she's in GCW, we get to see her kind of get more action in the ring.
Read right here. I have a lot of good history with Tasha, a very good hand everywhere. That's what you want to hear right there. Team player. Oh, here we go. Brooke is going to get called really soon, I feel like any second. Yeah, she has a great vibe. I could see her going to NXT and just letting her personality carry her even further. She's got a good look. She's in shape. I think she's moldable, got a good face for TV. She was trained at the Nightmare Factory, so she has solid classic training. I think I'm right there with you on that one.
I think she'd do some good work with Billy Starks and Ring of Honor. I think that would kind of fit her now too.
Oh yeah, I could throw her in there easily.
All right, our 4th matchup was Sydney Akeem versus Arez.
Sydney walks into this match 6-0 with 1 draw. That was the one against Mustafa Ali, which needed to be a draw because, again, that promo still memorable to this day. Arez with a crazy red devil mask. I wish I could buy those. He's wrestled for 29 promotions so far this year, and this was his 18th match wrestling for GCW. He's wrestled for this company more than any other company this year so far. Aura's unique style gives Sydney something different to work with and something different for the fans. He threw the kitchen sink at Sydney, controlling a larger amount of time in the match. I'm just going to put in my notes here. Just go watch this match. Just cut the crap. Sydney's one of the best out there. Aura's is one of the most different, interesting, and just fantastic out there. In the end, Sydney hits a surprise Poison Rana, and then the final act for 3. Our winner here was Sydney Akeem. He walks out of this match still undefeated, and there was a ton of adoration from the fans with both these guys' chants for both Sydney and Ares. An 11-minute match here. What were your thoughts on this one?
Sorry, I had to get back in order. I was looking forward to this. Obviously, I love both of them, their movesets and how unique and unpredictable they were. I thought this would mesh well together, and it did. They had a lot of creative reversals, I think, in this matchup, and I like their the movesets created for like unique moments like that. Was it Spanish Fly? I thought it was a Poison Rana. In my notes, I wrote Poison Rana. Like the reverse Poison Rana off the second ropes was insane, but that was the spot of the match. I also like the Hakutua chop that that Cindy did. I thought that was funny, and then Beta calling it out was pretty hysterical in my opinion. And I was sad that Arez lost, but Sydney just keeps on. Yeah, his win streak continues on, and I just kind of hope Arez gets some more wins here under his belt, gets a little bit more push, and hopefully he start chasing some titles here. I know I say it all the time, but man, Rez is just must see TV for like honestly, like every time I see him on any card, like I'm checking it out because no matter who he's going to wrestle against, it's going to be awesome just because of him. But when you put him against like someone as creative as Sydney, someone as creative as oh my god, who was the last person he fought? Alec Price. Like those are just going to be awesome matches that are made for me. So I just always want more for Rez, and he just keeps on killing it. But I'm still glad now he's become, as we were talking about regulars earlier, more of a regular now and showing up on pretty much every show, which I think he absolutely deserves it.
Fat guy terms, he's just a unique flavor. So it's fun to take anybody who really knows how to wrestle and throw Ares unique flavor into the mix. And again, here, Ares gave Sydney a match that he's not going to get anywhere else. And I'm really happy we were able to do this in a GCW ring.
Yeah, and I think that's why Ares fits in so good in GCW because all the cool matchups that he has and can have still that he hasn't is pretty unique for someone in GCW.
Yeah, Sydney versus Leon Slater is going to rule. That wow, is that going to be something else?
Can't wait to have Leon back too.
Yeah, Leon's another one. Like I said, from the minute you and I first saw him, gosh, now almost year and a quarter, year and a half or more ago, we've been screaming for that guy. He's just electric.
Yeah, all I needed was that Swanton 450, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm simple like that. All right, next matchup was Effie versus Greg Excellent. Sorry.
All right. I had noticed from the walkout, Greg definitely has theater in him. You'd look at the guy and never think he's going to be what he presents until it gets in the ring there. I love Effie. This is the last time I'm going to mention it, and I don't want to mention it again. I'm not a fan of the current version of Yellow Brick Road. I'm just going to say it, and then I don't want to mention it again. I've gotten it out of my system there. I'm watching this match, and I also want to say I like referee Adam Galt's new beard. I think it looks good on him. I hope the stud finds somebody one day because now that he has a little something here, hopefully he can like catch one like Velcro. From the rear, I wanted to say that Greg Excellent looked like DJ Hyde. I can't be the only one that's seen that. I put here that both Greg and Effie are fun to listen to ringside as they're both very vocal performers. I feel like I'm missing some of Greg's charm if I can't hear him. I also put here, and there was some cringy indie stuff that went on where two grown men were rubbing on each other for the fans' entertainment. This is why GCW kind of stays where there are, and I don't know how mainstream that is. So I will say, though, it got to a point where it was kind of rough for me to watch. I've watched hundreds of matches. I was like, our winner here was Effie. You're smiling the whole time, but for me, like, this was the one where I was finally like, I put Greg as an entertainer, but not the type I want to see again. Sadly, it's the gross stuff that turns me off. Like, he was rubbing his balls and putting it in his face and licking it, and then starts rubbing his sweaty. I was like, here's what I will say. I think he could do amazing things, but that's his choice. And I love Effie, but I want to say I'd really noticed in this match here almost a little bit of almost wasted talent. And I only say that because I know his shtick and everything else, and I may even get crucified for it. But I see now where physically,
you are.
that's okay. Physically, he's in a position where he could tone back some of it, and then turn up other portions of it. I believe he has done that for the last, 6 months or so. And I think it's worked for him. But when he turns it up where it's full on, like, hey, I'm going to rub this and that, then some of it is okay. When it's too much, then it's too much. And you'll know, like in Japan, when the camera had to zoom in to not show everything below, that's a little much. And you got to go, okay, Reed, cringy to who? Of course, Reed is going to be the fighter here, and that's perfect. I am just saying, Reed, that there is a point where I go, okay, this isn't wrestling as much as it's just like not wrestling. So, and you can say that all you want to, Reed. Still love you, man. So that was kind of a take I've never had before, but I saw it here where I saw two men with great potential who could have put on a better wrestling match. However, it's their match, it's their art, it's their choice. They do not do this for me. They do this for everyone. So I want to be fair about that.
Yeah, I thought it was a Effie match. I didn't take too much notice of it because it did turn into like all that stuff. And I don't know too much about Greg Excellent too, so that's on me. I didn't do like any research, but I did when I first saw that match and even announced, I didn't understand it, but I saw a bunch of comments that people were excited for, so I went in for it. But I saw it didn't turn into a wrestling match. It kind of turned into one of those goofy, silly matches, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Like I'm with you. When I watch Effie, I like seeing the serious, like go Effie, and like I'm out there whoop some ass, and then he does when
he deserves to sprinkle himself in there. He deserves to.
Yeah. And when he does like these kind of matches, I always appreciate because they do have some funny spots in my opinion. And even the next night with Griffin McCoy, I have some notes on that one too. But this match for what it was, like I said, it wasn't for, as you said, wasn't for me because I just didn't know Greg Excellent and I didn't know what to expect. And this was a comedy match, and I enjoyed it, and the fans seem to be super into it as well.
And Effie loves these matches for sure because that's his flavor. There's no one else like him. Here we go.
I'm right here. This is where I thought I from when I kind of first saw this match, I was like, I don't think it's going to be crazy in ring, but it's going to be some form of entertainment. So this is what I kind of was expecting.
Yeah, we're not going flippy do. And also, this is a variety show. There's something for everyone. Makes sense that, and again, there's nobody like Effie. There's something for everyone, and so be it, man. So I love him. I just also love him enough to look at it and go, listen, my personal opinion, if you turn up the serious more, you may be seeing some more money coming your way, because dude's got the body and the attitude and the selling skills and the microphone skills. He understands business. He understands. I mean, like, whenever he wants to turn everything on full blast, he's highly capable. I just, I don't know. Just wanted to kind of say it out loud because I love the guy. And I wanted to just say, man, I see such potential, and I hope he keeps turning it up, because since he's worked on his body, since he's worked on all of that, boy, has he upgraded. And now he's fully championship material. So I just want to see him turn up that championship material without losing himself. Same kind of growth I want to see for GCW.
Yeah. The next matchup was Speedball Mike Bailey going against Ruckus.
I want to say before we go forward too, Effie has made it very clear he doesn't want to work for more money companies. And Alan, I don't blame him. I think that's fair too. Sorry, I wanted to make sure
Very
that
good.
the listeners got their word in here because it's very real that yeah, he Effie's due for a championship. Thank you. I just wanted to say that out loud. So now I've got that out of my system. Just wanted to say. Uh okay, back to my notes here. Mike Bailey versus Ruckus. This was a 9-minute match. Ruckus gets a great ovation to the ring by fans. Both these guys chants before the bell even rings. Finally, the bell does ring. I noticed both have headbands on. I called it the Battle of the Headbands. Mike actually lost his first in the ring, so Ruckus to me wins the headband battle. This match was it was actually welcome after the smell my hand match, I had to say, from previous here. Ruckus was pulling off backflips on the floor. I really do feel like GCW has him getting a fresh breath of air when it comes to wrestling. Mike ducks Ruckus's handspring, a huge kick to the face, tornado kick into the corner, and ends it with an ultimate weapon. Our winner in this one, again with 9 minutes, Mike Bailey. I put in here, this was a big career match for Mike Bailey over an absolute legend. What do you think?
I didn't even think about that. Like I just thought it was a cool matchup, but yeah, having Speedball, he always gets all these cool matchups in GCW. I just didn't even realize, yeah, he probably was really looking forward to it. And now that makes sense in my notes. I wrote like I loved how he had the matching kind of black and white gear, and
Yeah,
that makes sense. He was paying homage to Ruckus. Yeah, I love this match. To me, I thought this was going to be a show stealer. I was kind of disappointed. This match seemed, and it was, and now that I see your times, I don't ever really check the times till you have it, but was a little bit shorter compared to the match before. I prefer this match to get a little bit more time because of the in-ring stuff, but it is what it is. I think Ruckus's resurgence in GCW as of late, and this Speedball style just blended perfectly in this one. And like I said, I love Speedball slick black and white gear, matching Ruckus,
oh
and
yeah,
that ending sequence when hold on, I wrote it all down too here, but that was the ending sequence of all those moves. Of here we go. Jesus, I keep hitting buttons on my notes. Here, the Speedball pulling the Neo, dodging Ruckus's rebound kick, and then countering it with the thrust kick, and then the tornado kick into the ultimate weapon. I love that finish. That was just so smooth and clean, and it was perfect. I wrote chef's kiss. Bravo. That match was awesome. Love to see it go a little bit longer, but for what it was, Ruckus and Speedball delivered, and I was left happy with this match. As you said, kind of a better taste in my mouth too after the the match beforehand, but yeah, good match overall.
if it wasn't for Ruckus's age, those two could have. Old Ruckus from the early 2000s could have won another 10, 15 minutes, and
Oh yeah.
Speedball would have helped him fill the time easily.
Yeah, for sure. Next matchup was Homicide going against Marcus Mathers.
Oh my goodness. I have Marcus Mathers out in his Phillies gear. I felt it was perfect for a hometown favorite. We go from a match with one Hall of Famer to another match with a Hall of Famer when it comes to Homicide. I noticed in this match more than any time other, Homicide was having a lot of fun with the fans. Tons of interaction here. This is another one I'm going to skip the notes because there was so much going on to tell you. This was extremely entertaining. It went almost 19 minutes. We're talking again, Marcus Mathers, little Marcus Mathers going against an absolute Hall of Fame legend in Homicide. Also, that was Marcus's 25th match of the year at GCW. Great job there. And again, here, our winner was Homicide. What were your thoughts on this match here?
I really enjoyed Marcus Mathers getting a big matchup with Homicide in his hometown of Philadelphia. I thought this was a big moment for him, and I liked his Philly gear. Every time he wears that Philly gear in Philly, I always like. And I just feel like Marcus is continuing to evolve before our eyes, and now he's showing that potential we kind of talked about on the Plant podcast when we first started. Of hey, like we always talk about Jordan and Nick, and like Marcus Mathers was like the one that was before them, but now it kind of got pushed to the side because of how well Nick and Jordan kind of excelled as a tag team. But now I see Marcus been fighting for that spot. He's shown his growth and in his and in this match as well. I didn't notice it was the same night, but I thought it was cool that Marcus made his AEW appearance as well. But
Yeah.
on the same, oh yeah, it was on Collision or Rampage. Rampage, I think it was. But I thought that was cool, him making his AEW debut. And Homicide still delivered like he did a decade ago in TNA. And I was kind of surprised that he picked up the victory because of this being in Marcus's hometown and in a big match. And it went 18, 19 minutes and dragged Marcus into the deep end. So oh geez. So yeah, that the ending was shocking to me, but I think Marcus Mathers still looked really, really good coming out of it. Looked really strong, and I can't wait till he does get a big win over one of these legends in his hometown and help elevate him to the next level. That, like I said, I think everybody's been waiting for, and now we're starting to really see it with these kind of matchups that he's been having as of late since he came back from Japan, in my opinion.
And I'll also add to this, just because we were talking about age, I have Ruckus at 46 years old, Homicide at 47. We had discussed this earlier, Reed. We're all 25, bro. We're all, what was it, 21, 25? We're all 25 now. You too, Alan, motherfucker. You ready to drink? It's 20. You're 25 now. So congratulations, bud. Happy birthday, 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 birthday. Anyway.
Okay. Woo. I just like that. Okay. All right. Next matchup was a tag team match as what was it? Janelysis, Joey Janela and Megan Bayne go against Brandon Kirk and Casey Catal, or so we think.
Or so we think. With Joey and Megan Bayne, why aren't they called Beauty and the Beast? I think that would be a fun name for those two. It's a little too right? Right? Isn't that awesome?
Joey and with the one tooth beast.
Yeah. Why not? You know what I mean? Brandon lets everyone know. Sorry, had to make an adjustment on the microphone there. Brandon lets everyone know Casey is working on healing, and over here at Game Changer Weekly again, we wish her the best and hope that she comes back as soon as possible. She's extremely popular and loved. I will say that. I don't talk on behalf of GCW wrestling fans. I do want to say in this one, though, we are all hoping she comes back as soon as possible. She's extremely popular. I felt like she's really found her footing here at GCW. So as she feels ready, fans are ready. As soon as she comes through that entrance, you know everybody's going to pop. So, he needs help in this match. Brandon does. And the help came from Jimmy Lloyd, which was really awkward. He told Brandon that they have a common enemy in Joey Janela and Megan Bayne. And he wanted, Broski wanted to have Brandon put his differences aside so that they could fight on the same team tonight. I don't know what the hell Brandon was thinking, but he needed a partner. And so that's how that went. This was our first decent amount of weapons that was brought into a match. Brandon Kirk had a psycho driver on his own tag team partner, which was very odd. Brandon then let Joey beat his own tag team partner for the win. So our winner here was Joey Janela and Megan Bayne. This is a 14.5-minute match. There was a lot of drama in here, but yeah. Joey puts himself through a door after the match just to make sure that he handles all business in the ring. Yeah. Winner was Janelysis here. Any thoughts on this match?
I was laughing at Emil's reaction when Jimmy first came out. He's like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? He's coming to help you. What's this guy?" I loved Emil's dying there, and yeah, Megan just looked really good again with everyone in there, and her strength is, well, as I was typing this, Beta said it better, but Megan's strength is amazing to see each and every single time we see it, and once again, she was impressive in this match. Brandon turning on Jimmy was a nice little touch. I didn't really expect, beating up the help that you get, and I wrote it was a good plunder match that, yeah, there's a different pace, different style match than we've seen up until that point. As you said, that was our kind of first match with a bunch of weapons, and I thought it was a plunder match that was good for what it did, and had a nice little tweak of Jimmy getting turned on by Brandon.
He got turned on by Brandon?
Yeah, literally, maybe figuratively too. That's, who knows.
Weirder things have happened.
Here we go. Our next matchup is for the GCW World Championship as Mance Warner defended it against Tony Deppen.
Oh boy. So before the match starts, we have Mance coming out. He's telling someone he prays that someone dies tonight. I thought that was fucking awesome, by the way. He gives props to Deppen for all the hard work he puts in. Deppen gets a lot of love from the crowd. Mance was trying to give Deppen his dues, and maybe is the best way to put it. But the whole point was to surprise Deppen. And instead of getting hit with the chair, though, Deppen ducked and threw a chair in Mance's face. That's how the match had started. Deppen slammed on a chair and the chair didn't collapse. That was kind of a nasty spot, if you guys remember that one. Mance was leaking blood. He gets put through a door. There was a door fight that was eliciting GCW chants from the crowd. This is awesome chants from the crowd. There was an obligatory indie sit-down slap fight. Deppen choke slammed through a door. He ate 3 door shots right to the head and a few to the body. Deppen with a late rally, but not enough. Mance pulls the ref in the way. There was a clothesline into an implant DDT for the win. So our winner here was Mance Warner in 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes long. And it was nice to see Tony Deppen in a championship match.
Yes.
That's what you were going to say.
My first note, kind of that. I like the video of like the compilation of all Tony's championship matches in GCW. That kind of really got me hyped up before this match. And I kind of thought Tony would go crazy in his hometown here with going for the belt against Mance, and him not working GCW as often as he has. I knew he was going to go 110%. These are the kind of title defenses I have been wanting to see from Mance against GCW regulars and originals in particular. And I just knew this match was going to deliver, and it did. The promo that Mance cut was heartfelt. I loved that promo. And then the damn asshole came and attacked him from behind. I was like, damn, we're going to finally give Tony his flowers. But Tony will get his flowers here one day. Mance bleeding every title defense is another reason I'm happy with him as our champion. And I really wish he would disband from Deathmatch royalty. But overall, fantastic. I thought this should have been the main event. I get why you're doing the death match afterwards. Tony probably doesn't want to be in all that stuff, but this is the main event in Philly. Mance Warner, Tony Deppen. Like, I was really just hoping he would have gotten that moment, because I actually totally forgot about the next matchup until like I didn't see the copyright at the bottom. I saw like a video. I'm like, whoa, what's this teasing? And then it went into the next match. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I enjoyed this match. This is everything I've been wanting to see in GCW as of late, and fantastic.
I'm gonna put this right here. I am not kidding when I'm telling you that my microphone keeps going funny tonight. It's weird. I'm not kidding when I'm telling you that Mr. Allen right here had actually spider-webbed and drawn out an entire booking scenario that is actually perfect. And he's not lying. On a fan, like the next fan forum, he would be fun to bring on just to see what he did, because no kidding, it actually all works. Like it wraps everyone. It's pretty awesome. So I just wanted to give a little shout out there to Alan, because yeah, I will say that it was really surprising to see wrap that many people. Like, oh, you got to be crazy like us. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to love wrestling and be crazy to sit there and figure out every little piece. Dude took no time at all, and he banged out something that I thought was pretty cool. Let's see here. I think the only way forward for Mance is to go cool heel. I think that's really possible. And again, if he wasn't in all the fans' faces, he would be the cool heel. He'd be the Stone Cold Steve Austin. He'd come out, drink beer, oh hell yeah, and that would be the end of it. But I really do feel that what makes him a heel is that crowd work in the beginning. Yeah, awesome promo for Mance. Great, clever touch. Let's see what else here. Yeah, Alan, for a newcomer, has gotten into this hardcore like us. Love it. Yeah, Alan is definitely, he is in now. We're going to have to get him a coffee cup and become part of it. Yeah, you're part of us. That can be good or bad, Alan. I don't know what to tell you on that one there. Let me go ahead back over to my notes before we go too far. Actually, that was all I had on that. That leaves is there anything else you wanted to mention before we do the main event?
No, when I was talking, I didn't realize all those mentions up here about war games. I guess we could kind of talk about war games real fast before we go into the main event, if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all up into flux. I think, yeah, as somebody mentioned earlier, just everything is kind of fucking it all up one way or another. And I think they're doing a good job um, of trying to figure out what to do with it and kind of teasing some stuff as the next night we'll kind of see some more stuff of maybe people missing that match and maybe new people getting brought in. I don't know. That was my question when we talked about this last week was I'm not excited for this match. It feels like an old rehash story that they're putting finally together for the last year, but it's the main people are gone. Injuries have happened. These people aren't really Art of War games kind of matchups, or like I don't see them in this type of match, so I don't understand how that's going to go. So I don't know. Like I wasn't really liking it too much now, and then now some even more stuff is even happening. So I don't know what to expect, and I was just wanted to see. I'm reading all the people's ideas because like I have no idea what's going to happen, and I don't even know what to even think or plan of or even get excited for because shit's changing nonstop.
I'm just over here trying to find the graphic real quick so I know exactly what. Okay, here we are right
Yeah, that's
here.
what I was thinking about too. Looking up, I was like, I can't remember. I'm not going to be able to find it fast enough. But yeah, there's like question marks all over it now.
No sweat, no sweat. So what I'm looking at here is Joey Janela. Why is my microphone screwed? This is like the first night. This Joey Janela, Megan Bain, Effie, and one called Manders versus Matt Cardona, Mance Warner, Broski Jimmy, and question mark. And again, that's where SDL would have been. So I am kind of curious exactly who's going to be that fourth person. Do you have any ideas?
Like I said, I'm lost. Like if they're taking like Bane out because of SDL, the two names I thought they might throw in on opposite teams, Ciclope and Miedo, just for the violence for the Art of War game's sake. But I don't know how they would fit in storyline wise. I don't. I honestly have no idea. That's why I was like kind of interested reading that all those ideas and stuff when I was too busy talking because I don't know what to think of it, and I'm looking for something to get me excited here. Mason number 4, like how does Mason fit in? Like deathmatch Cardona just hires a killer, literally. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but this is kind of lazy in my opinion, and I don't know. Like someone said, hold off on it. I wanted to see where hold off on it because of
because the
what?
next show.
Because the next night, yeah.
Yeah, the next
What's
night
the
kind of.
next night?
Great one says they are implying Megan might be out of war games, but it's probably more so she has something to sell in war games for adversity's sake. Next year, Alan, great one. Megan was at Limitless the next night, so much like the eye thing. She's going to sell it in other places. Reed Harris. No, in my mind, she's out of war games story wise. Joey said tonight the MRI was taken for Megan. Yeah, I saw that there was an MRI. Was that Joey or Megan? I'm assuming then it must be for Megan because um, yeah, Frank Warnoff saying I think Mason is number 4. That's
Yeah,
very
I don't
possible.
know, man. Then
Isn't his sentencing a couple days before
yeah, that's what's on there.
the
Like Frank wrote it
show?
later on here. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god, yeah.
I don't, it just seems like it's a reach to save it. And I guess you got to do what you got to do at this point. And that's if that's what happens, it happens. I'm expecting bloodbath in Art of War game. Someone said like how crazy they think Mega Bane going. I was thinking this might be her shot to bleed. Like I remember when Masha went first crazy in GCW at the Showboat, and they were like she went in that I think it was a tag team death match, and like with her and Akira, and like there was just blood everywhere. Like she was just like look that I think helped elevate her even further to the next step of that bloodbath, kind of like it did Sawyer Wreck a couple weeks ago. Like it's done for Cole Radrick. I think just that little bit of blood and like how Zilla did in LA. I just think that one little adversity of go through the war that we see everyone else in GCW go through. If Megan Bain does that, I think everybody's like that's going to be a holy shit moment for her. But I don't know. Like as someone said, if she's even going to be in there now, I honestly have no idea what's happening. I can't even put it all together here.
There's a lot of moving parts right now. I saw Effie said Effie's the fourth man. Effie is on the team with Bane, Janela, and whatnot here. So
And Manders, right?
yes. So
It
Manders,
seems a 5
Janela.
or 4.
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
Is it teams of 5 or 4?
4.
Okay, so Manders, Effie, Joey, and Megan. And then Cardona, Mance, Broski, and it would have been SDL. So yeah, then I don't know who the third or fourth one would be then. I now if
I see
SDL
your
like
point.
with SDL going out, I just think it's going to be. I think they're going to just put two males that are like known for kind of bloodbaths or like to get bloody to kind of help save this match. But I have no idea, and I don't want that to be a reason to take Megan out. I think she can fit in with this match without getting bloody and crazy too. So like, I don't want that to be a reason for her to be taken or anybody to be taken out. I just wondered how SDL and like when this first match was first announced, how SDL and Megan would fit into Art of War Games kind of matchup.
Okay, Reed, I just want to tell you here, don't you start cursing things again. The last time you cursed, we had Nick Gage go under. So no cursing of Effie turning heel, nothing like that. I mentally can't take that. I mentally can't take it.
They'd have to do some really mental gymnastics for me to believe that and kind of fall for that story of him turning heel and joining that team somehow, some way.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let me check my notes here to see if there's anything going on with that one. No, that's it for right now. It's just a lot of muck and I don't even know where to start. So it's like without going into a 1 hour oratory about it.
Well, I think later on we'll be talking about it here on the what happened on the next card. So okay, here we go.
I cursed someone.
All right. Our main event for GCW's Aura was Matt Tremont going against a fill-in in Slade.
All right. So Slade comes out to the weirdest song. It's actually an Aussie B track. And if you know your classic rock, kind of an interesting choice. I'll give him points for rarity. It was a lot of good fighting outside and around the ring in this match, giving everyone a good look at both wrestlers. Tremont was sent headfirst into a chair, and that is where the blood started. There were heavy chair shots across the back that looked brutal. Black Abdullah brings out the fork, goes to several sides, and Slade isn't bleeding. I feel like that's a waste of time, and it kind of looks fake. This is a wrestler. It's a death match. Cut the motherfucker. Funniest moment of the night. Slade is bouncing his head directly into a small board. I had to pause to fucking laugh. Did anyone else see that the board didn't break and he ran his head into it and it made a satisfying sound? I thought it was fan. I almost got an audio clip. Like I almost took an audio clip just because I'm like, holy shit. If anybody wants to hear it for themselves, it's right at the 3-hour mark, 1 minute. It's right around there. Just wait 15 to 20 seconds. You're going to hear a satisfying thunk sound. And that's what you get when you try to take a door bridge dead on. We do have a door fight in this match, then a chair fight as they ride the rails to Concussion City. But in the end here, we have our winner as Matt Tremont with a DVD into a sit-down power bomb or maybe a sit-out power bomb. Got that for 3. An 8-minute match, almost 9 minutes. I'd have to say they really did fill the time nicely in this hardcore match, and that's what somebody like Matt Tremont would do. Slade, to me, is still a little green, and Matt really carried this one quite well.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tremont did a lot of carrying here. No offense to Slade, like I said, I like how Slade is green though, because as someone was saying, like, have you met Slade? Like that is Slade is Slade. I like that. I didn't expect him to be the fill-in for Zilla. First of all, so it was kind of nice seeing him make that surprise appearance, but I just thought it was overkill, the no selling. Like sorry, that was just overkill. Like save that for somebody like Cruel Size or Pero Size. Like, no offense, Slade. Like, you're taking it against a legend, and we haven't seen him in a while. Like, I hated all the no selling. I don't mind one. I don't mind a kick out 1 after taking the no selling a chair shot to the head. But it was like after 3, 4, 5, 6 moves, after a body slam, after that, like it was just overkill on me with the no selling. But like I said earlier, I didn't think this should have been main event. As I'm going to agree here with Frank, I don't want to shit on Tremont here, but it was just a do nothing garbage fight. Like it was just say, hey, we had this match, let's give him something at the end. But there's no way that should have been following Tony versus Mance, in my opinion. That should have been an easy call. Fill in that should have been the main event. Throw this match in somewhere in the middle with the 8 minutes of violence. No one would have noticed. I didn't like, and the show ended. I'm like, oh, okay, like I could have stopped watching about 20 minutes ago and I would have been just fine. Cause like this did nothing to further NGI or nothing. Like if this was like the next night's main event, I once again disagreed with it. I thought it should be different, but if why they're doing this to kind of get NGI, start pushing the ultra violence, start pushing the death matches, and you having that be the last thing we envision at the end of the night to push NGI, I don't mind it. And like the next night furthers the NGI stuff, but this match was just a match, and I hated that it was a main event. That's my booking high horse, but whatever. I know there's circumstances happen, and it is what it is. But that was just my kind of sour feeling I left at the end of the show after seeing that match.
In general, I like a knockdown, drag out, bloody death match to end the night, or a heavyweight, you know, a world champion main event kind of thing. And this is a situation where they really did bring the kitchen sink. But I think what you're saying is that with Slade, this might be a before intermission or after intermission match. And I can see that point. I can really see that point here. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I agreed more than disagreed on that one here. And I did not see it from that aspect until you said something. So good call on that one. But unless there's something else you have to say, I think we got GCW Aura in the books in 1 hour.
Yes, that's a good start tonight. Let's keep this going.
Hour
Let's go
two,
back to back here.
Dude, 500 people right now across all of our, you know, gosh, now that I wish I could talk, and across all of our platforms, we're doing great tonight. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. There wasn't anything else I had to say about Aura. I think it was in the books, baby.
It is in the books, and we are going now to GCW's back-to-back from the Webster Theater in Hartford, Connecticut.
The big GCW back-to-back graphic that was on the wall in the background looked so good. If possible, is it okay if we can get the staff to stop walking in front of it while there's wrestling going on or whatnot? It just looks bad. Honestly, walk behind it. Even the wrestlers stay behind the curtain. I don't know if it's on purpose, but some of the entrance music in this match or in this show was kind of hard to hear at times. This was the familiar scene almost too, because we're becoming used to seeing a lot of theaters in our GCW venues. I like them. I like them a lot. They were hard to get used to at first, but I think I get the vibe now. So that's just what I wanted to kind of mention before we started the show.
Yeah, I when you mentioned that flag, I'm kind of mad now. I don't notice or even remember what it looked like, so I have to go back and check it out.
Theater, you know what I mean? Main stage, theater. Same thing. Hard cam is towards the back, and then they have one in the front, so you can kind of turn around and wait.
Oh, okay.
One of those kind of setups.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now I remember now. Later on, Tony Deppen match. All right. Our opening matchup for back-to-back was Bobby Flacco going against Van Gogh.
And here we go with Bobby Flacco again opening the show. Bobby and Van Gogh both come out knowing they have to step it up as the opening bout. Give Van Gogh credit for having personality, 14 years in-ring experience. Here we are, only 6 minutes long, a very fast-paced match. Great selling by both. Bobby Flacco was the winner here with double foot stomps. And I just want to mention they leave together damn near like two buddies that know they put on one hell of a show. And I just want to say the same thing with 6 minutes. They did a fantastic job. And this is exactly the firecracker spit fire kind of opening that you want. And they delivered.
And I'm kind of glad Bobby Flacco's like, I know I like seeing long matches and stuff, but like I think 6-7 minutes is like with his style, like I was saying earlier, go is perfect. And against Van Gogh, I thought they once again meshed well. The crowd was really hot. I thought that was kind of a cool way to start the show off. The crowd was really hot. Alan, I think you were there. Maybe you can elaborate more? I'm quickly going over my notes here, but that crowd for opening matchup was fire. And like this was, I know you were talking about the crowd taking to Bobby Flacco in the last show. I noticed it more in this match as well. And they both been on a roll as of late. They delivered in this opening one-on-one contest, and I wrote this is exactly how you open a show off. Strong performances that got the crowd hot and going right from the start, and I think that led throughout the momentum for the rest of the night. I was impressed with like Flacco's reaction, and I like seeing Ariel Van Gogh. He always improves, and yeah, he seemed like he got a very good reaction from that crowd as well.
Well, I just want to mention here that Bobby Flacco is who we're going to have on for an interview next week. So when we come back next week, that's who we will have on. And then from there, we're going to talk about October 8th, as there's no other shows going on the weekend before that for us to review. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, we just want to focus on Bobby when he comes in. He has so many fantastic stories, and we're really, really looking forward to it. Alan is all over here. Crowd was awesome for that one. What's up, buddy?
I was about to say, maybe if we can't get nobody for that 14th show, I believe that's the weekend before LA, I think, or the weekend after, or yeah, weekend before LA, and
Yeah.
LA is going right into the Fight Club weekend. I think maybe we'll talk about it. I think maybe a good fan forum. There's some of these ideas. Here's some creative booking from a lot of different views. Would kind of get me a little bit more excited for Art of War Games, in my opinion.
Okay, guys, so that would be October 8th. We're going to look at it and see how things turn out. But Alan, get your shit together, and we'll check where the names are in rotation, because we have to make sure. I think we've got most everybody, but I want to make sure I look, because, again, there's like 20, 30, 40 fucking names, and I go through and try to juggle. Well, a lot of people want to get on here and have fun, you know? Yeah, so... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, brother, I stay ready. So yeah, we're going to get some people together, and we're going to do another one of those. I want to check my names and whatnot, and we'll send some invites out and see who's available. But I mean, some of you in here, if you hit on rotation, if you want to, it's probably going to be the 8th of next month. And we'll let you guys know in advance, because yeah, whatever we can do to get this bitch interactive, we're going to keep rolling with it.
And especially if it's right before Fight Club, I'd like to hear all the Fight Club and the War Game stuff. I like to hear, like I said, I want to hear some new stuff to get excited for.
Are you good? Are you good to lock that in then, or do you want to talk about it first?
Hold on. So October, when's the date again? I'm sorry.
So Bobby Flacco's October 1st. That's next week, and then the
War Games is the 12th.
Week after that is the 8th, and then the 12th is War Games. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 days before War Games. We could put on a forum. There's 500 of us in here. We're gonna do a forum, guys. So get ready for it.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, I want to hear some good stuff before.
I just jumped the gun.
No, I want to get hyped up before Fight Club. Like I said, we got nothing, no shows to cover before. I want to hear some ideas and thoughts and booking wise of how they would book out War Games. Because, like I said, right now I'm not too excited, but maybe a lot of these ideas or thoughts of other people's perspectives might get me more excited.
I do see your point, though, that there's not a lot of bleeders in that match, and that's kind of the point of the match, is the brutality and the blood and the violence. We'll see how that comes out. But both females are out. Possibly Megan Bain is out. So I don't know if we need a number 4 on both teams. It would be cool to have two rivals.
That's why I went to Clope and Miedo. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe like, hey, Miedo's not happy with how GCW is going. Maybe he listens to Matt Cardona, and then maybe Effie somehow gets a whiff of that. See, Clope gets a whiff of that, and they got backup for Miedo. I don't know. Like I said, it's still too early to even have them go against each other. I would save that for NGI if that was me in the finals, or somewhere at least in the tournament at most, but. If you had to ask me, that's where I would put my money, is on those 2 names. That's the first 2 names I thought of, but I don't know. I don't even like those either. So, I don't know. Miedo quit being the tag team. It seemed like that was a little confusion that night we were talking about.
I think he's just saying he quit as an overall, you know what I mean, like just tag team kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, because no, we can't just have Miedo gone. It's like Santa Claus. You can't tell me he ain't real, dude. Santa Claus is fucking real, bro.
And see, here is where I would be using the absolute ever living shit out of Twitter every day for the next 2 weeks. Pop up something, a promo. Pop up little tease of, hey, Joey calling somebody calling for backup. Cardona calling for extra backup. Like, over these next 2 weeks, if you got no shows, I would be using social media, hyping it up, getting us intrigued, leaving out those mysteries. I don't know. I would start teasing a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of people start thinking a bunch of different things that can happen to keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah, it's just NGI 9 right now. Good point. Good point.
I have that in my notes later here. That's funny. I want to
Interesting.
talk about that one later. I think Maeda was intentionally being vague, but I think he sits out for a bit while Ciclope climbs ranks, and I am all for that as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We were tired of watching Mieto's shoulder go out, literally out, and then he'd have to run back, and yeah, not fun.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Let's get back to back. Let's get back to. Oh wow. All right. Put up a rap song over
Cheers,
here.
buddy.
And you're sipping a gin and juice over there.
Yep, piss jug John. No, piss jar John. It's my apple juice. It's yeah. I forget who it was that told me a long time ago when there was a recall. They're like, "You're gonna fucking die, dude."
I think it was maybe it was Price or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I think we had a guest on. It was a guest.
He's like, "You're gonna fucking die from that apple juice, John." I'm like,
nah. But there is a reason. I'm lost on there. Maybe I don't know why there would be 2 weeks with no shows. Maybe there's a reason. Okay, hold on. Sorry, that's like a riddle to me right now. When it comes to Brett, if you know, you know. But there's a reason there's no shows.
Type it in.
Maybe I'm lost. I want to know. I'm idiotic here. I want to lost it. Yeah, type it in here while we cover the next match because it was a short match, and I know we don't. I was thinking that one too. That could be the new fourth one of why he would just show up, and that would be awful though too.
Reed, we don't do cannabis around. We don't do the reefer.
He's just getting his way out of that awful idea there.
Yeah. He's
yeah,
like,
DM me, please. I definitely want to. I feel lost here, and I don't like feeling lost there. All right, next matchup, back to back was Brooke Havoc versus Broski Jimmy.
I really like the fan chant. Hold on. There we go. I really did like the fan chant of Jimmy fucking sucks. I thought that was really tasteful. Brooke has personality. Brooke has personality that people like. Jimmy doesn't. You know what I mean? In this type of a setting, that was it. Her extensive time at the Nightmare Factory really shows in ring in this one too. I'm a big fan of bringing her back for another little stun again because she just had a good feel about her. This was less than 6 minutes long, this match. Our winner here was Brooke Havoc with Crossroads. Interesting little finish she used there. But yeah, nothing else really super noteworthy that I wanted to write down. They had a straightforward match, and yeah, I like Brooke. I think she does a great job, and she's solid in ring.
Yeah, I agree too. I'm like, I know I kind of said this last time, but I'm really happy that she's having this little residency here in GCW because it's a great place to showcase her talents, and with all the different competitors that she's able to wrestle, I think that's just going to help her grow as a competitor. And Jimmy being a perfect opponent here to help elevate her throughout this match and bump and sell like $8 million, like how he did in the Crossroads for her. I thought it was a good show, and then Brooke keeps on getting momentum.
Good point made by Alan. Jimmy lost to Cardona, so the 1 year is December 3rd. Something that we haven't been watching or thinking about, and we're only a little over 2 months away from. So we need to watch out for some stories there too, because something's going to happen.
I think NGI is going to re-trigger his love for deathmatch, and he's going to be getting tired of calling himself the prince next to the king of Matt Cardona, and that's what's going to set him overboard, I think. There you go. Yep. So rip.
You can tell they're intentionally spotlighting Jimmy is on a losing streak because conventional logic is to put the regular over the guest star. Very interesting stuff. I thought that was you typing over there.
Not with those big old words. I'm just like, good, okay. Those are nice
good,
big words
cool.
over there.
Yeah, he's awesome and all those big things. Yeah. All right, here. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that one. Just a quick 6-minute match.
All right. Next match is Richard Holiday with Pero by his side going against Marcus Mathers.
Okay, this one now. Holiday says Mason will never be in a GCW ring again. There are heavy fuck you chants, even though he is in his hometown. He gets everyone to call him a snitch. The fans definitely took the bait on that one. He got on nobody needs to call me a snitch, and then snitch, you know. They took the bait. It was good. The voices of Dave Prazak and MLJ graphic comes up. I love that a lot. I feel like Dave has earned at least a 3-second spot with his name on it on the screen at some point. And at this point, as good as he is and the commodity that he is, I don't see why we aren't plastering his name at the beginning of every show. He's a thing. This is like Jim Ross. He's got a voice, he's got a vibe. He is a thing. I'd love to treat him like he should get his 3 seconds also.
I think he deserves to be on the spot of Nigel versus Bryan on Grand Slam. I like, just because of all the stuff and voice that he provided during that time for it. Like, I saw someone else tweeted it'd be cool if they were able to get Dave Prazak to call it, but I think that would be a cool little piece of history for, as much as Tony Khan likes Ring of Honor, to kind of give that bone to Prazak and maybe see what it turns into, because he's still obviously killing it and doing everything that he's been doing for GCW and other companies. And it would be cool to see him get that moment. I know that's a very far reach there, but I agree with you. Dave Prazak deserves everything that he gets. If it's this little 3 seconds on our show with his name on it, or some other way, he's earned everything. And it feels grateful to have him calling his voice calling GCW. Now, I think at the beginning I enjoyed it, but I think I took it for granted of his historical value to the company. And now kind of learning more throughout these shows. And as I keep learning about wrestling as a fan, seeing everything that he's been a part of, I definitely took him for granted and don't want to do that no more with Dave Prazak.
And I don't know if you're in here tonight, Ash, but Frank, A+ production values with the voice of graphics and other little things. 100%. We were yelling about that years ago. We thought we were just constantly bitching and barking up a tree with nothing in it. And I don't think it's because of us, but I felt like we were a small part of hundreds of names that said, hey, let's do this. Let's get some graphics up here. Let's up the professionalism. Let's kind of get things at a place that makes it more palatable, but doesn't lose its identity. So I felt like they've done a good job.
That voice of graphics, that doesn't feel like it's been more than a month, but I like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, thank you. Cause like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, so that sometimes I get some of these newer announcers. Like I think it was Carmen Michael and someone else during that time, like that weekend, I got those two voices kind of confused. I thought it was the same person, but now seeing the names and be able to match names to the voices and faces has helped me out tremendously. Then we always like to give in the commentary shout out, and that just helps us to get our notes correct here and make sure we give the correct commentators the correct acknowledgement.
Almost towards the end of the match, Pero got involved momentarily. He grabs referee Dan Perch's foot before he can complete the 3 count. Holiday low blows Perch, blames it on Mathers. Dan calls the match and gives Richard the win via DQ. So our winner in this one was Richard Holiday. I wrote down here, another match thrown out. I put that I feel like the good guy never wins anymore. I must have just been feeling crappy at the time, because I just put here, I'm getting tired of constantly boo-hooing. I need some good feelings at GCW.
And I think you're going right into my main point of this whole match here. It's the chicken shit heels. So I'll get to that at the end here. I wish they would have went a little bit further with the Mason angle, other than just saying the date. I felt like it was such a long promo for one little thing. I just wish we got a little bit more substance from that. This match was solid, but the ending, I hated it. I don't like the low blow from the heel. I really don't like it, and here's why. I think right now there's an overabundance of chicken shit heels in GCW. They're all doing the same shit. They all wanted to just take this low way out. I miss right now, I think, in what GCW is missing, and they have it right here in front of them with these two in particular, Holiday and Pero, with good size. We need some more Haas, like big muscle heels. Like we need the big threatening heels that are heels because they're just so dominant and could just do anything they want. Nobody could stop them. That is, I think, what helps elevate faces. This chicken shit stuff is doing nothing. It's protecting the heel in face of whoever's going to win or lose. It's like that's such a shitty way to end that match. It does nothing for Holiday. It does nothing for Marcus Mathers at all. I'm just tired of all. There's just like a bunch of them. Cardona, Mance Warner lately in a couple of these matches, he was doing some stuff with the deathmatch royalty to get over and win. But as we were complaining about last week, I just want a dominant heel. Like, I think the last one we had was Jacob Fatu, and he was a legit threat, a force. Everybody was scared of him. He just dominated. He commanded everybody's attention in the ring. He was the ultimate badass, but he was the heel that I think GCW is missing right now. And you could easily have Pero be that bad guy. Make Richard Holiday, turn him into a stone-blooded killer that is just a badass in the ring and doesn't have to deal with a low blow to Bill Marcus Mathers. Like, that was like, I hated the ending. I felt a lot. I felt a lot to be desired there. I just wish they could have done something more. And I'm just, the chicken heel stuff is getting overbooked, in my opinion, in GCW right now.
Yeah, Blake was a chicken shit heel. Then we have, which I wish it wouldn't, Mance being one by letting people cheat for him. I don't think he needs to be part of a stable. And I feel like this is one of the few things about his run that I'd change, because I'd say it's damn near perfect. So I need him to go out on his own because he doesn't need others. He needs to be Fatu dominant. And he can't do that with three friends who are constantly running in the match, fucking up his 17-minute, story. I don't have a better way to put that. This is one of those times where one person is so strong he doesn't need help. I know it's nice. I know it's functional to a degree, but I'm pretty much done with deathmatch royalty as a whole. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next incarnation is for all of these folks. That's why I was happy to see that 2-minute Matt Cardona video that came out that he's really proud of. I'm hoping this changes direction. We're going to get more into that as we go further also.
Yeah, I'll go back with Frank here. I think Pero had his moment that one time when he was able to finally, like, could have got rid of both of them at the same time and would have just showcased himself. I think they missed that point there. I think now him going and following out Richard, just following off of Mason, I think they did miss that chance, but I think they did have a time in place where Pero could have stood his own. Right now, I'd be doing Galeno Damal as like the big badass heel that's indestructible, just dominant. And what are you going to do about it? You can't do nothing. I don't need to do all this bullshit to win. I'm just dominant as a heel, and I'm going to piss everybody off because ain't nobody could do nothing about it. That's what Jacob Fatu was. That's the heels that I think is missing right now in GCW. And I think that's what's, as you said, it feels like the faces never win. Even if they do win, oh, good job. You beat a chicken shit Richard Holiday because Apparel fucked up. That did nothing for you. Like, it's not doing anything to help elevate, I think, the faces to another level other than just, another notch on the win underneath their belt. I think they need, like, these, I hate to say stories and stuff, but I think the stories, a tough mountain to climb, a dominant heel to show what is really needed to help be or take the next step in GCW. And I think Galeno Damal for me is like one that I would be using in that kind of role right now.
That's a hell of a choice too, especially as what we've seen from him. He's mobile, he's agile, he's got everything that GCW fans like, all the way down to personality, a good look, good gear. I mean, he's got the total package. He's much larger than most of the people on the card. I've never thought about it until you mentioned it. I think that's a great point, and I think he's a great example of the kind of dominant heel that we need that doesn't require 4 friends. No offense, because in my head, Mance does not need friends either. That's just how it was written right now. Maybe he just needs SDL to be by his side, and now Jimmy and Cardona can move on to the next incarnation.
And I was wondering how much crossover the Impact storyline would be happening with SDL and Matt Cardona in GCW. I was really interested in seeing how that would kind of flow with what's happening in other promotions, because I know Cardona kind of seems like it's consistent. I mean, he got SDL from the Indies to Impact with him, so I think like he likes the consistency of his character and what's going on in every promotion. So we never really got a full explanation or thoughts of SDL on that, but I wish we would get more. Maybe there's still time over the next couple of weeks to kind of further those seeds or plant those seeds.
Looking forward to seeing her heal also. I believe she's going to have some procedure coming up in the next couple weeks. So she also has a podcast that's kind of fun to listen to. Her and Mance are on it. They are not in character, so just enjoy them for the nice couple that they are. Both of them are very fun to listen to. I highly recommend checking them out sometime. Just wanted to let everyone know.
All right. Our next match of the evening was Slade versus Tony Deppen.
The two things I'm going to mention here. This is 5.5 minutes long. Tony calls Slade to the stage. Slade then comes out of the ring and onto the stage, and both start fighting. The first thing I saw was there are a lot of fans that are lucky they didn't get knocked off the stage. If you go back and watch, there were 2 or 3 there where you're like, oh shit. Then the feed cut multiple times during this match. I know that sometimes you can't really predict those things. I put our winner here as Slade, which is sad because it looked like they did a lot in 5.5 minutes. I just wasn't able to see it. What do you think, Brant?
I thought it was an all-out scrap. I loved it. It just showed, like, I think that was the kind of match. Obviously, Tony Deppen has to have that kind of match with Slade, unfortunately. But I'm kind of glad it showed that Tony Deppen was pissed off that he lost the chance the night before to be the champion. He's like, fuck it, I'm not wrestling you, Slade. I'm fucking taking all my aggression out. We're gonna have 5 minutes of just chaos. And I loved it. I loved the chaos. I loved how sloppy it was. I loved how fans almost got hit. It felt like a real brawl. Tony's face and expression kind of fooled me. Like, maybe he's like, God damn it, I'm in this match with Slade after being in the, like, I kind of felt bad for me. Like, I just was the night before in the world title match against Mance Warner in my hometown, and now I'm fucking wrestling Slade in a 5-minute slot match over here. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I just want to see better for Tony Deppen. But as the match was, I enjoyed it for what it was. The people around there, I could see how excited it was. It felt like that was the GCW old school fight into the crowd. And yeah, I just wasn't happy of Tony losing, especially to freaking Slade. And no offense to Slade, like I don't mind his character, but like he's just gone for so long. I hate seeing people that aren't here ever get rewarded when Tony Deppen's built this company as Tony, or as Man said, on his back for years, and then this is how he gets treated, a title match, and then here you go, fuck around and find out with Slade for 5 minutes.
Like, so I just wanted to put here, we have what's up, Reed? How you doing tonight? We have double reads in the chat. So I wanted to make sure that everyone knew the rules. If there are 2 reads in chat, there has to be a death match. So if you guys want to talk amongst each other on a back channel and figure out where you want to meet, we only have room for 1 read in here, so figure it out, guys.
Oh shit, Mance was. I didn't know Deppen was supposed to get Zilla too. Oh yeah, Tony came out and was like, "Fuck it, I'm getting 5 minutes. Let me get some aggression out here." Okay, that's making more sense. I totally forgot that he was supposed to go against him.
I'll put it here first. Alan said, from the fan perspective, they did a lot. They did so much. That action got near me. Also, I want to mention, Alan, I 100% saw you, like, middle fingers. There we go. Middle fingers flying, everything. So I saw you giving people shit. You were one of those ones that keeps the crowd going. I like that a lot. Reed also said, just dropping in to real quick to show some support while at work, and just want to say thank you for the retweets last. Got a lot of people to talk with and learn, appreciate the community. Reed, that's what literally this is all about, man. I'm so happy to hear something like that.
That's awesome, man.
Stick around. You know, every Tuesday, just stop back in. If not, you can always pick us up on YouTube and just watch it later. So,
and good luck on your jersey too, man, for sure.
Hell yeah. See, I agree. Deppen 100% needs a main story run in GCW. Can easily see him as the people's champ. At minimum, a JCW would be fantastic because he could bring some prominence to it, just like Masha. It can be a wrestler's champion.
Yeah,
I don't know a better way to put it there. Yeah, Alan said I had my hat on backwards for that reason, so you'd know it. Yeah, dude, you were right there at the bottom. I saw you giving shit to every wrestler that came by there. There's Ash. Yeah, the production table got bumped during the fight on the stage and interrupted the feed, but I would never blame Slade. Well, you know, shit happens sometimes. Thanks, Ash. I don't know if you were in here earlier, but we said some nice things. So if you get a chance, check that out there. And then Mance getting into it with a fan that actually wanted the smoke was lit too. I didn't see that. There was somebody that really decided to.
It seems like they always want the smoke though, until it comes around to fuck around and find out. Then they're not going to anymore. But yeah,
dude, I'm a big boy. I hug Mance. That's muscle.
And see, this is what frustrates me with the Mance when he was doing those couple of matches of that chicken shitness. Like, he is the Jacob Fatu right now. He's getting all the heat on him. They're getting in people's faces, showing him everybody he's the badass. He's showing everybody he doesn't need them. Like, that's what's so frustrating. Those couple matches, like, I still overall love his run. I love what he's doing. He is my champion, and I'm loving it. But those little couple matches there, that's like what brings it down, because he is everything I was just kind of asking for. Get in people's faces, put terror in the fans' eyes, put terror in the like, you got to show the GCW roster. You're going to literally, after everything I do for this company and bleed, you're going to have to kill me for the belt. And that's the kind of heel I think that we're missing right now.
I like that. I like that a lot. See what Alan says right here. Like, Mance came by, Fan said some shit. Mance and him went nose to nose. Fan got shoved a couple times and his shirt got ripped, but he loved it. And his sister was like, dude, I need you. Your sister will kill me if you're not. So I'm guessing he's, yeah. Tell Mance to choose me for shit beforehand so he can actually punch a fan for once. But fans would probably realize it was fake or planned. We need old school Chuck Taylor child scaring.
I would love that. That's what I think needs to be happening. And Mance's doing that. That's funny. Like, when I got Blake, when he did that thing to me in Vegas, and like everybody's like, "Oh, did Blake tell you he was going to do that right in front of you?" Because that was when I was talking shit at that time about Blake. I was like, "No, that was totally unplanned. I don't even think he knows who it was at that time because we weren't live." But those moments with Mance and Blake are always cool to have. All right, our next match is Effie versus Griffin McCoy.
Let's not skip that before we move on. Mance and Frank got fucking into it in AZ. Go watch the first Phoenix show, and you will see Mance and Frank, like, nose to nose, fucking, like, forehead to forehead.
Take a shot. That's a new drinking game.
Wow, yeah. It was just, that was wild. Said Mance also flipped me off when I gave him the suck it.
Mance going to Frank like, "What the fuck you doing here?" was the funny part. It was like, "What are you doing all the way out here?" Yeah.
I hope others are seeing too. Like, Mance is a stand-up, good fellow, nice guy to talk to, intelligent as all hell. So that's who, when you get a chance to talk to him, you know, that's the mind behind who he is in GCW, and it's awesome, man. It's really awesome. All right, there. Did that.
All right. I did announce the next match. Effie versus Griffin McCoy.
All right. 10.5-minute match. Griffin was ready for top guy time. He was pointing at his Nolex. Effie has his pants down to do a move. Dave asked, does that add anything special to the move? I don't know about all that. Impressive watching Griffin catch Effie mid-air to hit a nasty power bomb. I wanted to give him credit for that one. Our winner here was Effie with the sack rider. Again, 10 minutes, but I felt like it was just a lot of back and forth and whatnot that I couldn't really put into notes there. So what are your thoughts on this match?
I wrote this as another solid Griffin McCoy match. The Nolex killed me. I like that Nolex call there by you. Same thing. It's just a character for me. And I was kind of hoping Effie, like, to even kind of send the message. Like, I forgot who that was back in the day. I know Great Ones probably, or somebody's going to do this real fast. But back in the day when Triple H and Shawn Michaels reunited DX and got pissed off at, like, I think it was someone from the Spirit Squad or whatever, like, threw him in the dumpster and it said, like, back to NXT or back to Tampa you go kind of thing. Like, that's what I kind of feel like this needed. Like, I was kind of hoping Effie was like, "No, I'm not going to give you a kiss. You're fucking Griffin McCoy. It ain't top guy. Like, get out of here. I don't want that, like, that stink around me. Like, I'm going to save my kisses for the ones that earned it and deserve it. Like, you're definitely not one of them." So I was kind of hoping we would get that spot in this match, but he did end up giving him the kiss overall, but using it to his advantage. And like, I like how Griffin kind of had the wherewithal. Do I smack it, Effie? He might like it. This ain't going to help me out. It's going to help him out. Back to OVW. Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, I forgot who it was. I want to say it was someone from like the what's it called, the Spirit Squad back then. But like, I think that's what I was kind of hoping for in this match. But in ring, it delivered. It was just a match. I don't think it did anything. Didn't help out Effie for his upcoming War Games match, and Griffin just kind of being thrown in these matches, which I think is good for him right now to kind of take the losses, get the heat, help get the use that heat to help get the faces over that he's wrestling at the current moment. But I still hope something happens here with Griffin's character, and I do want to see him kind of reach that potential. That I actually really liked him back when I first started getting into Young, Dumb, and Broke, and I thought he was like, yeah, other than Jordan was for sure the next one, but Griffin was, I thought, the next in line to have some good stuff happen in his wrestling career. And at the moment, not happening, but hopefully down the line we'll see it.
Well, you know me, I was like, no Griffin. I don't like it. I don't, you know what I mean? And now after a while, it was like Masha. I was like, no, Masha, I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And then I end up finding out, hey, you know, I missed the point. It's not them, it was me.
Who said this here? Oh, great one, of course. Yeah, like that's what kind of makes me was wondering, like Effie is like, I did kind of forget Effie was a part of Art of War Games after this weekend because of like he didn't have a match that was involving anybody with there, and especially with this kind of being the last weekends of matchups before then, I was hoping for a little bit more Effie involvement, but maybe they are saving it for his title run, say something special for Art of War Games. I do hope Effie gets that special payoff to that feud and gets his moment to shine here coming up in the near future. All right, our next matchup is for the GCW Tag Team Championships as Violence is Forever defends it against the Miracle Generation, the team of Dustin Waller and Kai Lon King.
All right. Okay. So this was a good fucking match. I don't know if there's a better way to put this one out the gate. Like, Miracle Generation came out just on fire. And I hate to say it, but enthusiasm matters. And in this match, it mattered a lot. Adam Galt showed up late. Dave and Emma were busting his balls on air. Thought that was a fun little treat. Miracle Generation, Dustin Waller and Kylan King, 115-day Wild Zero tag team champions. They were coming up, yeah, like I said, just bellies full of fire. I don't know is a better way to put it. Hartford fans were fully behind him. Violence is Forever in matching gear. I've talked about that before. Great job, guys. It was really nice. They kept the match pace up for the majority of the match. Nasty Chops made a slapping sound that was very audible on the mic. There were new chants as everyone sees Miracle Generation sincerely working their asses off here. And I just want to say the same damn thing. Our winner in this one, Violence is Forever with Chase the Dragon on Dustin Waller. I wanted to write here that this was a great title defense. I didn't like Waller selling the finish like he had a concussion, but again, that's just personal, you know. I don't really
I think
like
it's just
because
just, you know, because we saw him go through one. I think that's why too.
Oh, maybe makes sense. Makes more sense
for
than
me.
just
That's
doing
what
it.
I would. Yeah, because like when I saw, I don't think it was in this match, but I saw him like in another match, kind of like one cell. Like I was like, oh shit! Like I was like, you like kind of like the Bryan Danielson. Once you like know, like, oh shit, fans are gonna go for it. You're gonna sell that shit like no other. Like the seizures and stuff that he was doing, but I thought the same thing too. Like in one of the spots I did see, I was like, "Oh shit, Waller might be out," because I just had flashbacks when he did get knocked out. Reed, great call here. I thought there were when I heard the new champs chanting "go to," I thought of this moment here. I thought that this would be a cool little replay of Miracle Generation and Violence is Forever when they did get the titles from them back then. I think their chemistry, both teams throughout this match carried it. I think that got their chemistry and what Violence is Forever and how well they know Miracle Generation. I think that helped elevate the mood, as you said, how they came across the expressions of Violence is Forever. This really meant something different than these last few matchups maybe have or title defenses have come across for them. And as a fan, I noticed a big difference in this one. The competition was crazy. The chemistry definitely flew off the screen. Both teams killed it. Other than that, I like this match, but once again, it's the same talking points of Violence is Forever. Like, while this is a good step in the right direction, you see what happens when you have that's a feud that's not really been shown on GCW, but it's a feud they've had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the feud and the story brought the best out of Violence is Forever, brought the best out of Miracle Generation, and that uplifted the match, in my opinion. And this is like, I don't want to harp on it no more because we say it every single time, or I say it now. Violence is Forever needs a story, needs a team to fight against, to really challenge for that belt and make them step up their level to keep the tag team titles instead of just what they did to earn it. Sorry.
No, that was just
Oh, I
such a
thought you were
good point.
frozen.
I'm
I'm
not going
sorry. I
to.
was like, "Oh shit, is he frozen?"
No, 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 no. I just I didn't want to step on it. I thought it was a great point to end that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
match.
All right, this is going to be a fun one too. All right, next one is Sydney Akeem versus Blake Christian.
Sydney walks into this match with now an 8-win undefeated streak. Talk about his record more or give him his story is what I'm wondering on what to do here. And the reason why is because the fans are ready to get behind him. They're there. The minute Mustafa Ali put him over, that was it. We need something to accompany him because, well, they're already invested. You just give him a story that puts it over the top. This is a challenge. This is a champion in waiting. I don't know where you're going to put him yet or how, but I feel like that's what it is because he's entertaining. People love him a lot. Blake comes into this match looking like he's broke and depressed. He's lost his confidence. You can tell he's somber, lacks energy. I'm realizing the paces of the last 2 matches we've watched also added to the excitement that the previous matches didn't have. I swore I saw a couple old Blake moves. I don't want to go too far into that, but I think I saw that. Our winner here was Sydney Akeem. This is a 13-minute match. Another one that I say you need to go see. This is Blake Christian in his older style, faster Blake. I don't have a better way to put it here. This was my number 1 or number 2 match of the night so far, tied with that Violence is Forever match. I'm going to just stop right there and kind of see what your opinions are on this one.
Yeah, I think Blake has lost his smile. He reminds me of the HBK character, giving up the belt and kind of being done with everything. Kind of being tired of being booed. He doesn't have the belt no more, so it's not worth it to him. I like this character arch. I'm really kind of hoping that we see what reinvigorates Blake. I think he needs a old foe, an old competitor, an old spark to light his new fire, and that is Leo Rush. I want to see somehow Leo Rush
Oh,
in the Blackheart character, kind of have some mental mind games with Blake to kind of bring Blake back to what he used to be, like how Leo Rush knew Blake back in GCW when they first were kind of going together. There we go. Damn it, Reed, you took it. They could kind of put the no heart, the all heart, the black heart together and kind of do some sort of way to help Leo Rush help Blake
mm-hmm.
find his passion again, find what made Blake fucking Christian, make him the high flyer. As you said, he's starting to kind of tweak his move set, which I love. It's those little teases because I think that's what's going to help him set him apart, and that could help bring Blake back to his prominence. And I think an old foe in the Blackheart Leo Rush would be a perfect opponent for that to start happening. But I want to see this continue for a little bit because what Blake's been doing as this losing streak is going, he's really elevating every single person. He elevated Zilla like no other. This one brought the best out of Sydney. His losses are hurting his record, but I think he's really elevating his opponents, and that right now is very good because that's something he wasn't kind of doing as a champion and as that heel beforehand. I really kind of hope he keeps taking losses. They keep teasing this change, and that kind of grows back into because I know Brett loves Blake. Blake loves GCW, and if
He's
he
a
could
good
kind of
man.
and if you could bring that into a full redemption arc and get the fans back behind him, I think that would say something for character and his redemption as a character in GCW. And it would be a very cool moment. And with Leo and Blake having their history, I want to see that be happening somehow.
And yeah, we were talking last show, just the way that, yeah, that's the truth. I feel like, okay, so Jim Cornette said this, but how can I miss you if you never leave? I think it's very true that I said this about Maki. Maki should have dropped that belt while she was here, come back, taken it a second time when she came back, which would have been way more epic than just the belt sitting there dormant and then coming back with her months later. So yeah, I think that, yeah, Alan says Blake needs that. So we'll get into the interview a little maybe that we last had with Blake, but in that interview, he said that he was looking at a small reinvention of some kind and that he was going to be trying out something different in Japan. I watched what he was doing in Japan, and it was damn fantastic. It was a face thing. It was a crowd pleaser. We may have that back. We may very
I
well
just
have
think he's
that
a natural
guy back.
face. His moveset,
He is a natural
his
face.
looks, his demeanor, it screams natural face. But I'm glad he was given the opportunity to try that all heat character and go heel. I think he did excel for a while. I think just a bunch of different scenarios kind of helped impact, I think, his ultimate, what could have been as a heel. But for what it was, I think it was good, but I think it did overstay its welcome. But seeing him come back as a face would be really cool, I think. And I'm excited. I'm glad he just has something right now, even if it's losing and these little teases, it's making me talk about him where I'm not talking about Slade losing a trade or lose a Tremont, but like I'm not talking about any of these other things. Like these little tweaks here got me interested in Blake Christian. I'm glad because I was a little worried what would happen to him after losing the belt.
So here we are again after the match. Sydney wins, and Blake is falling apart ringside. He's having a very rough time with the loss. You can see this. And I wanted to say good job on Prazak for saying nothing and letting the fans speak instead. What we're hearing is get the fuck out by the fans. And while Blake is sitting on the apron, you can also hear the fans start chanting, nah, nah, hey, hey, goodbye, which if there's a time for change, if there's a time for this to happen, I say it would be right after that moment. I don't know if you can get another fan base to do what they did as perfectly as they did at the time that they did. What a great way to say goodbye than to go, nah, nah, hey, hey, get the fuck out of here for right now. And then come back as someone better. And like you said, redemption. I'd love to see him come out, grab the mic and go, you know what? This championship tainted me. Like you were saying, you know, the championship made me do it kind of thing. You know, and now that I don't have the championship, and now that I, you know, old Blake is gone, and I needed to bring old Blake back because new Blake did not work as much as I thought he would, and I'm miserable, and I'm constantly losing, and I want everybody to know that this is not the way to go. Be yourself. Be, you know, throw a little, you know, a positive shit in there for the kids, and then boom, you're good.
I like what Alan's mentioning right now because I love that Blake's doing it. He's using social media. These little quick little things right there is making me question all this stuff he's doing online. Is talking and getting the fans still talking about this whole angle and match days afterwards. So he's doing a very good job of starting to use social media with these little teases as well.
Yeah, keep yourself fresh on social media, guys. Same thing. Like we see people in chat sometimes, or people comes over. Dude, get involved. We got 600 fucking people in here right now. That's a small show. Enjoy ourselves. That's why we say if anybody wants to come on, by all means, any of these wrestlers want to come on, you know, we try to. They're very kind about giving us our space. But
yeah,
they're also very kind about coming on for interviews. So we get love, thank goodness. Where were we going? I just squirreled into another land. Sorry, man.
All right, well, we will go into the next matchup then. That's where we will go to. We'll keep our pace going here tonight. Our next match is for the GCW World Championship as the champion Mance Warner defends it against Joey Janela in a lumberjack strap match.
So Jimmy comes out, kind of cuts the same promo as always. We get shut the fuck up chants from the fans. On a good note, I will say these last two shows, or at least these last 2 weekends, Jimmy's really finding his voice on the mic. I don't know if you've noticed, but he's been a little more forceful now. He's a little more confident. If you watch his first couple weeks as a deathmatch broski, and then you kind of see how he is now, you're going to see there has been a lot of change. Matt, as always, spends his time talking about shit from 5 to 20 years ago at WWE. He said that this time fans should thank him because he eliminated Nick Gage, sent him back to prison. He's going to go after Effie and then Joey Janela. But tonight he is going to go after Megan Bayne, which I find interesting because this is Megan's 5th run-in with someone from Deathmatch royalty. Matt introduces Mance, who's chatting it up with the crowd ever so politely. Beer is being thrown between Mance and a fan. It was just a fun time for all to be had, is the best way to put that. The good guy lumberjacks, the face lumberjacks we have here are Effie, Mathers, Flacco, Waller, Van Gogh, and Kylan King. The bad guys are Pero, Tony Deppen, Griffin McCoy, Richard Holiday, and Slade when he felt like it. Eventually, Lumberjacks learned to duck at ringside so fans can see. I really do appreciate that they did that. The match starts and Mance is bleeding. So be it. Slade's ringside actions tell me he doesn't know what side he's on. He's on the face side, then he goes to the heel side. A lot of chairs and doors were used. This is a match that's worth seeing once. It's just kind of comical. There's a fun lumberjack fight on the outside. Broski Jimmy, of course, interferes in the 3 count. Mance would have been done. We would have had a new champion here. And again, we said it before, that books Mance as weak and needing deathmatch royalty when, again, in our opinion, he really don't. So our winner here, after a 20-minute battle that, again, we recommend watching, Mance Warner.
I was hoping Slade would just start fighting with everybody outside. Just start beating the shit out of everybody because he's got no friends, and just start whacking everybody with the strap match.
Dikembe Mutombo style. Fuck yeah.
I saw his original tweet when he tweeted that out the other day. I saw him tweet that Alan out. I had me dying laughing. I just imagine no. Oh my god, that was funny. Again, that original tweet had me dying laughing. I thought this was a fun match. I like the stipulations of the lumberjacks with straps. I think you were asking. You did ask when the Effie and Mance Warner stuff was going down for the lumberjack match, and yeah, with the straps, I enjoyed this one. Once again, I don't understand why this wasn't the main event, but whatever, it is what it is. And I just thought it was a good way to keep further in the story for War Games, but same thing. Like, I didn't like the ending with Mance having to getting the win. I prefer him to get the help and him not knowing it or needing it, and then starting to get pissed off about it. Maybe that's what kind of helps him kind of turn on deathmatch to you. Like, hey, I didn't ask for all of you guys' help. Get the fuck out of here. But I want to see what happens.
Alan said this. It's not that Mance needs him. It's that they need Mance as the champion. Then he said deathmatch royalty will do anything to keep Mance. You're right. You're right. At some point, he's going to have to be pissed off and go, hey, stop fucking with my matches. People think I'm a fucking joke. I can't go out there and be a badass when everybody knows that there's nothing badass about a guy who he just has a silent partner who runs in and interferes every time there's a 3 count. So I don't know. I'm so sorry I jumped in the middle there. Mance will speak for them enough.
I was reading. No, I get it. Reading. No, I'm sorry. Like I would have put this just as the main event, the world title. You're leading up to the biggest match. It's War Games. I think you should end off with that way. This, what I was saying earlier, I don't mind the ending because of the cool moment at the end, and it's to hype up NGI, which is coming up, and you need that death match to end the show to stay in everyone's faces. I get that, but I just think like the world title, like I've been saying this since Blake's time. I've been saying this for long ass time since John, since we started this podcast, I've always say that like the world title, if it's supposed to mean something, it should be meaning something by closing the show. And especially when this is going to lead into your biggest story, one of your biggest shows of the year, and your biggest gimmick kind of matchups, and you have all these people going, and then you end off with Tremont versus
don't kill Brandon. Me. I don't hate it. Don't kill me.
What? Don't hate what?
Oh, I don't hate that they end with the death match, just because I think the mess is probably what's causing.
And I get that. I understand that. If that's the reason, that is like just for my stupid booking reason. I
get your point.
Put the world title on the pedestal, make it the pedestal that's going to end the show. But like I said, I do like the moment that happened at the end and stuff like that. But that could have been cool anywhere in the card. It didn't have to end the night that way. Like, I still think that moment would have just been as awesome. But that's just me on my high booking horse and everything else. Like I always am.
I see the benefits of both sides. So I wanted to let you know I see the ending being at the end, but I also see the benefit of saying, hey, the premiere story at the end of the night should be what closes the, you know what I mean?
And this made more sense. So, like I said, I'm fine with this one than fucking Slade and Tremont ending the show. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that should not be ending the show if everything else. This one, I understood, and that's why I kind of prefaced this, the ending of the last one, but I get it. But you don't change Sunday. Okay, all right. I get everybody. I guess everybody likes that. Too, but okay.
No. I'm fine with that. You're not saying it has to be that way. You're saying you have a preference that it's 75% this way over.
And I get why everyone's saying like the cool moment and stuff at the end. Like,
you be nice to my friend.
I
It'd
know,
be
right?
nice. I love it. I love
If
it.
that's the worst I get, I'll take this community.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. This is fucking awesome compared to what it could be.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I put here that it was a good match, should have never happened. Okay. It was a good match, but I felt like it should have happened in a higher profile place with higher profile lumberjacks and a proper storyline focused solely on these two. Joey is a legit threat who almost had the championship twice, and I feel like this is a good trial run, but this should have been a main stage banger because these are two of our biggest stars, and these are the originals, the regulars, the ones who they are the only legit threats. We can't have, Donkey Kong Jr. from Tallahassee. We have to have real.
Oh.
I know Donkey Kong Jr.'s. Okay. Uh-oh.
No,
You
I'm
got
about
your
to
hands
say,
in the air.
hold
What's
up,
going on?
man. Like, hold up. I say it should have been the main event. You're what's wrong with you? You're saying the same thing. Like, oh, true. Oh, he's saying Harris is true. Never mind. Okay. I'm about to say, man, you're getting all the love, but I'm getting all the hate for the same thing. Hey, share this love, hey. Give John some of that hate now.
Yeah. It's my turn. DM me later. Oh my goodness. Okay, go back to my notes here. I also have an idea. I think each side should get one strap each. That negates all the little weak strap swings that didn't look like they hurt much at all. One strap, one good welt raising shot that makes the fan goes, ooh, is good enough. And I think it earns more respect. Whoever it is, it's a wrestler and they can take it. I really honestly just want to see one thick, used to be like your dad would beat your ass kind of belts. You know what I mean? The kind that if he took it off, you would know the sound of the belt buckle. Like I'm an old fashioned. Yeah, I look at it like that. Your turn, buddy.
No, I would prefer them all to have straps. Like I said, I would have slayed just. I would like to see like the bigger names. I didn't even think about that. I would have had some bigger names out there as the lumberjacks as well. And then like to kind of start the outside fighting to kind of show the crowd like, hey, like yes, we got a story that's happening right now involved in the main match, but look at the shit that we have going on outside on the perimeter of let's say if it was Mason going out there against Holiday, I would have had more of the kind of the feuds. If you had a bunch of feuds happen, start to have a bunch of just brawls in the back, and like you just end this night in chaos. And that's how the last vision we see going into Art of War games, and then like everyone's just going to be so excited. Like one of those, those dynamic, like I forgot the not dynamic endings, but like they used to have like in the Attitude Days where like just start off with the Rock and Stone Cold, then like Undertaker would come out, then Kane would come out, like all these different people would come out and start their own little fights. Like I was kind of hoping that's what I would like to see that in this lumberjack kind of matchup and style, but maybe next time. And I agree. Right. Yep. Right there. I agree with that too. A bigger place, as you said, a bigger venue, a place that means more to GCW, a name where Mance Warner and Joey Janela could get bigger pops, and they have this kind of matchup like AC or LA would have been better. I agree on your call there that you made.
This is a very interesting point. Great One says, I think having a lumberjack strap match without guardrails and fans super close doesn't make sense. They have to hold back so no one gets hurt. Yeah, the only other way this could happen is if we have a brawl around the arena style thing. an AEW style brawl around the arena, which is possible, and the chaos would be holy shit. We couldn't do it in LA. It would probably cause a small riot. I'm not kidding. Somebody would do something wrong in LA and it would be a problem. Yeah. What else do we have here? AEW is doing the same match this week, and I'm sure I'm sure it looks better from the jump. Oh, you know how that is. Let's see here. Great One. Literally no one in AC would be upset if this match spilled out near them. Yeah, in AC for sure. In LA, I would definitely hold it back. Great When you've been to LA, but I don't know how it would work there. And if we had a lumberjack in LA, I see where his
fans would be the lumberjack. Shit,
the fans would somehow.
In LA?
Well, here's what I know.
They're just swinging buckets instead of straps, especially Joey.
Well, I was gonna say, whoever could hold on, whoever had a chance to throw a beer probably would during that time. And whoever wants to get involved probably would. There it is. Let's give Wendy a belt. That's right. Give Wendy a
No,
fucking
no one's
belt.
safe then.
No, you know what? That's even funnier. It's like Tasmaniac. Just fucking let her go.
Yeah, LA, they couldn't do it in LA for sure. AC would have been my choice for sure. Definitely then. AC is like somewhere down
I
south.
I recommend anyone who can. What is my
I don't
my
know. That's like
microphone
old
keeps
school
messing
there.
with me all night. It's been messing with me. Yeah, I recommend AC fans get out to LA and see what it's all about. It is not
Sean
what
was
you
the
think it is.
Sean was the strap. Oh god. Oh, that'd be funny.
Wow. Oh
Oh,
my
that's good.
goodness. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, I got to get back to this.
Well,
Yeah, our winner was Mance Warner. That was that.
and then yeah, I don't want to take your first note. I kind of had it differently. Next match kind of happens right away. Megan Bain versus Matt Cardona.
And what you were getting ready to say, we moved seamlessly into this match here. The story just flew together really nicely. Megan throws a garbage can onto Cardona and it explodes trash everywhere. It was fun to kind of watch liquids and random trash just fly into the air. Moments later, Matt answered with a drink to Megan's face. And I think he told a fan that she did it first. Not really sure there. I could easily see Alan down in front. I just wanted to mention because it was in my notes that I saw you were in wrestlers' asses all night. Good for you there. Megan hitting some heavy suplexes in the end of this match. In this 12-minute match here, we had Megan Bain as our winner. After the match, I got to say it because normally I stop here and throw it back to you. The same stale deathmatch royalty after match beatdown happens. It's the same every show for about the last couple months. And I'm just kind of looking forward to the next Cardona incarnation because yeah, people are going to hate me. Me and deathmatch royalty are ready to kind of, yeah.
I'm with you. I felt the same way. Like after Art of War games, I'm hoping, as someone said, it ends with Team FE or to whatever the team wins. DMR losing and then kind of having to do some major changes in the ring to kind of show that the blow off is done and over with. For this match, I appreciated the smooth transition between matches. I always enjoy that. Cardona made Bane look really good, I think, in this match, and I was surprised but happy overall to see Bane get the win and help build her momentum towards Art of War games. I think that's what that she kind of needed this win to help boost her up for this Art of War games to kind of get up to the not I don't want to say get up to the level in the wrong way. Like what she's done in this short amount of time, she definitely deserves to be in this match with everything that was going on. But I think these wins help prove her status and state in this matchup to the fans, so that way they can't really question why she's in there because she's been on a tear lately. She's been super impressive. So I was happy. Although I was shocked to see her win, I was happy to see her win as well.
I also wrote here at the end of this match, Megan is injured. Joey is mad. You figure Megan would get injured first, then the big blow off match would happen as Joey is seeking his revenge. So I'm thinking maybe this goes there, but yep. Last note again, Megan needs to leave deathmatch royalty. I'm afraid to see what you're reading over there on that end.
Oh no, I like when you said that, like I was the same way. Like
It's time. It's almost time.
I don't want to see like when you said maybe we'll see Joey versus Mance again. I'm like, oh, like not anytime soon, please. Like I'm ready for them to break off, start new feuds, build new names, and then maybe come back to this at a later date.
I like this right here for Lumberjacks. Hot Tub Guy and a few other fans that you might recognize. I like
so
that.
Talk about that Lucha Underground. Yeah, I saw Lucha Underground. I didn't know at the time who that person was, or a lot of these people were. I was still getting just used to just independent wrestling in general. So now I do have to go back and watch and see if I see some familiar faces in the crowd now.
Oh, let's see here. There's our comment of the night in wrestlers' asses. Anyway, so Reed said he had a major issue to the beatdown and why he made his joke earlier. Where was Effie? And that's an interesting thought because Reed has always thought differently than most of us, but sometimes he's always on to something. He said he seemed late and they ran before he came to the ring. So I think he's implying there that Effie may be not just a good guy here, and there may be something in the undercurrent. And if I'm wrong, Reed, please correct me there.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and Alan said he's looking forward to seeing me mid-October. Yeah, I've got he's going to be popping out here for some racing. So I told him we get a chance, so we'll come out here and say hi. So probably go do something real quick, like just run to McDonald's, Taco Bell, or something, go bullshit for a while. Kind of something fun to do.
Right.
So maybe we get the Crow Sting era Effie. No shit. It
Just
could be
pissed off
done.
at everybody. He's pissed off at Brett for letting people like Des Raji come in and always fucking
Possible.
attack him, and JBL sick of letting Matt Cardona run the company, sick of all these other people. Yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't mind that. It just a black-hearted Effie even just pissed off at everybody. I would like to see that one for sure.
Hell yeah. Let's see here.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have on these notes. Sorry, bud.
No, you're good. All right. Our next match was the main event, as it is Brandon Kirk going against Matt Tremont.
All right. So yeah, this is the main event. Brandon gets announced in his home state of New Jersey, gets booed by fans. Then Tremont is announced in his home state of New Jersey, also gets booed by fans. I did a little play-by-play. You guys know how this works, so just kind of relax because this is our last match of the night, and I'm going to kind of walk through it here. In our opening minute, the crowd is pumped. We hear GCW chants from the crowd. Both men are kicking each other into light tube bundles taped to the turnbuckles. The place came alive. Spooky dust was in the air. Don't let anyone fool you. In my opinion, this is real GCW. Black Abdullah then pulls out the fork. Minute 2, Brandon gets stabbed by that fork, and Tremont gets thrown off the top rope, a place that he's never known to be. Minute 3, Tremont is taking chair shots to the head and back. Brandon headbutts a bundle into Matt's forehead. Minute 4, Tremont clotheslines tubes into Kirk. More GCW chants. To me, Tremont is the Action Bronson of deathmatch. Minute 5, Tremont brings out a box of tubes and goes through them one by one. Kirk came alive from the shots. He hulks up, eats glass, grabs tubes, and just starts swinging them on Tremont. Minute 6, both were very bloody. We had fight forever chance. Minute 7, Tremont is setting up the 6 chairs of death, as I like to call them, because it never ends well once they're all set up. Minute 8, Tremont is on top of the chairs. Of course, he pulls Kirk up there with him. Minute 9, Brandon attempts the psycho driver. Instead, Tremont hits the Uranagi, covers for 2. Brandon kicks out. Minute 10 to the finish. Despite plenty of help, there's chairs and glass everywhere. Tremont pulls another box of tubes out. He gets pedigreed onto those light tubes. Brandon hits a cutter. He grabs a chair covered in light tubes, jumps from the top turnbuckle, and smashes them on top of Tremont. He only gets a 2 count. Brandon slaps on the camel clutch, and just as fans start chanting, "This is awesome," Tremont passes out. Our winner here, Brandon Kirk. So I'll stop right there, and I was just wondering what you had in the way of comments on this match, Brandon.
I'll go over my notes first. I do want to read some of the chat here because I thought they were pretty good here. I wrote it was a solid death match that served as a nice appetizer for the upcoming NGI. I was looking forward to I'm now looking forward into the NGI more than I was a couple weeks ago. I think a couple weeks ago I was still a little iffy, but now we got some names going, and now that I see some of these new names popping up for the tournament, they're starting to announce it, and so seeing some of these upcoming death matches coming up that even don't have people involved in NGI at the moment, I'm excited for. I'm loving these new matchups and fresh new matchups. I know this wasn't one of them. This one has a lot of history, but this is one I would like to see over and over and over again, like how you have, Reed, because these two just always put on magic. And I know I don't want to kind of bring it back to this. I know we kind of brought it up earlier. NGI, I don't know whatever happens there, but if NGI goes away and it just becomes TOS, as we kind of talked about with what GCW seems to be doing with wrestling and deathmatch wrestling, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Or not wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't be surprised to see that change just because of everything else that's going on. But overall, okay, well, we didn't get to the end, but I have something else to add here after you got at this part. But overall, I thought really good death match. Frank, I like that name for it. Ultraviolet Dance Floor. Struggles, that is a cool name. Ultraviolet Dance Floor. I got to remember that one. That is cool. And yeah, great one. I get it. I understand. Like, I get on my high horse and like book it. If in a perfect world, the world championship would always be at the end. Or if we had a cool death match like this one, it would make sense. But yeah, I get it. I didn't even think about something like that. Like the New York, yeah, like, hey, you want to do this shit? We're going to end this shit right now. So didn't think about that being an option. So I understand even more so why that match ended the night.
Could you imagine that a death match is given 4 minutes and they say, guys, this is all you got. We got a total of 7 minutes. That's 3 for entrances and 4 for a match. Go. Could you imagine the crazy shit that could go down? We've seen some insane stuff at 6 minutes. You know what I mean? We saw a Murdoch match that was just insane, bell to bell, 6 minutes long. So, let's go into this next part. Tremont grabs the mic. He says, tonight, Brandon was the better man. Tremont then gives Brandon Kirk his NGI spot. Excuse me. He then leads a Kirk chant. That's the Tremont rub, and you can't teach that. A huge NGI 9 Brandon Kirk graphic comes up in the background as "You Deserve It" is heard from the fans. And that's how we close the show. NGI 9 might be Brandon Kirk's to win here, because I'll tell you what, not many other people got such a presentation that, hey, they're going to be in the show. A graphic comes up in the background. I mean, he's getting the all-star treatment. Fans love him. Brandon Kirk is GCW. If he wasn't before, he is now. And we've got our stamp on him. So welcome, Brandon Kirk. It's official. You're obviously now getting somewhere over here at GCW, and the fans are waiting to push you as much as possible. So win for Brandon Kirk, win for the GCW fans. And I think it's a great addition to the NGI 9 roster.
Yeah, and I wouldn't now be surprised to see him in the finals. Like, yeah, with as much as he's been doing as of late, filling in, going against Drew Parker, I could see definitely a finals appearance by Brandon Kirk. I love the cool ending there, and I love this. That was a surprise that Tremont would give up his spot. I just still selfishly would like to see Tremont still in the NGI, because I think he still has a lot to go for. But one thing I noticed now, John Wayne Murdoch and Tremont, I don't want to say this in a derogatory way, but 2 of the older guards of deathmatch wrestling now giving praise to the new guard coming into NGIs and making their appearances in Brandon Kirk and Dr. Redacted. I love the new old guard putting, as you said, putting over, giving the rub to this new guard, because that's what I've been asking. These new names, new matchups, new faces. I'm not going to say they're passing the reins over to them quite yet, but they're introducing them in a very strong way, where when it becomes time to take over the yard, these names are up here and ready for it, because of these older guys giving them the rub and giving them that cool opportunities and cool moments just like this. So that's one thing I did just pick up just now, literally while you were in these notes. I'm like, wait, 2 legends are bringing, I don't want to say Brandon Kirk's a new name, but we haven't seen him much in tournaments lately or recently. And with Dr. Redacted being a new name, I think that's cool. We're bringing these new names with momentum, not just out of the blue. They're having the statement is being made and a stamp of approvals being put on them by legends to help elevate them before the tournament even starts. And I think that's why I'm getting more excited, is seeing these new guys getting the rub over.
Yeah, I like someone like Tremont going, you know what? If you love me, you're going to fucking love this guy. If you think you've seen shit out of me, I'm putting my stamp on this guy. Wait till you see the next generation come through, because it's going to put me, anyway. I didn't want to go.
That's kind of what I feel like was happening.
It is, and it needs to, because this is what the previous generation's supposed to do. And I don't know how much that's happening, but I know that Tremont is always putting people over. That's just all there is to it. How many death matchers always grab the mic after a match? You know what I mean? Like, he has a flair for that. Thank goodness. I wish we had more death matchers that could grab a microphone before or after a match and give it some extra meaning. So, what else can I really say here? I really do like the fact that it feels like we are, and this is expanding upon your thought from last week, we are getting a lot of fresh blood in GCW. And that goes a little bit on my point, where I was saying, look, we've canceled a lot of the death matchers out there, and that has created a point to where there's a whole death match scene that GCW can't touch or isn't touching. So bringing in someone like Dr. Redacted, making sure some of these other death matchers like the Kirks get underneath our roof, make sure that we're able to still do solid death matches, put on solid death matches without feeling like we've lost death match to an outside, like 4 other places. So there's plenty of deathmatch companies, but like I said, it's our responsibility to do the best deathmatch wrestling, not just a death match because the fans want it. There's a lot of thought we need to put into our death matches. Like, is there a story? Are there any promos? We need to separate ourselves. And I think that can and should be done over time as the top independent company out there.
Yeah.
Dr. Redacted has actually been around a lot longer than people realize. Yeah. Brandon, definitely not a new name. I mean, I was hanging around with him back in 2012, 2013. Yeah. New to GCW. I see what you were saying there, but yeah, he isn't going to make it until he makes it here on the independent scene. He can do it, but better to make your name here. Deathmatch will always be there, but you need to adapt. Where do you put here? You need to adapt depending upon where you are. And deathmatch guys, in some cases, need to be able to actually wrestle, which is something you're seeing. Yeah, the last couple generations now put more than just slinging shit into your face into their repertoire, which is great. Cage match is so wrong in where they have Dr. Redacted's career starting. Not a surprise read. There's quite a few where I read off their stats and they're like, nah, man, I have way more matches than that. It's just, cage match didn't pick them up. Guys like Kirk and Akira can wrestle and do death match. 2 primary examples. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and mention that now. We have not seen Akira in a while. It would be nice to see him kind of come back for something. He always puts on a hell of a match. So I'll just kind of put that out here now. If maybe there's somewhere where we could put him in a show, I think that would be fantastic. I just want to put that out there.
I have a name that I think I would love to see, and I think a lot of fans would love to see, but I don't know how much of a fit it would be. Justice and NGI.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I sounded like the Kool-Aid man there, but oh yeah, oh yeah.
I sound like Otis. Actually, that's what he said.
Yeah, and then I'm oh yeah, then I'm Macho Man.
Oh, there he goes. Never mind. My plan just got scrapped.
Let's see here. It's not like Brett's lost Akira's number, considering. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Speaking of, we get a chance. Maybe we'll get Akira in there. Yeah, I'm sure Akira's always open to a phone call. A lot of wrestlers are open to a phone call or a text from Brett to get to work on something. So yeah, I'll just put it out there publicly, with Masha or without Masha, for sure. It would be really fun to see Akira come in and do his thing. We don't see someone like him come in too often. So, we'll take the flavor when we can get it. I don't know, but it's possible. There might be an avoidance there of some MLW people. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think they learned the lesson last time.
Yeah.
They their first rodeo with the.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Yeah. I won't go into that deep discussion, but yeah, kind of interesting.
So yeah, I actually left this weekend more excited for NGI than I was Art of War Games. Like Art of War Games, just a bunch of question marks, but for me, like NGI, for me is like kind of taking steps, and I'm excited for it. I think we got to put together like a little. Hopefully, they put out like brackets or something before our Tuesday show or a week before, so that way we could do little brackets or something with the fans and kind of do something cool with them.
Yeah, I'll fill you in, Alan. Well, he was wondering about the MLW and GCW thing. That's been going on a long time, man. It's just like a rivalry between owners and really not the wrestlers, because the wrestlers just want a job and wrestle. They could care less about the ownerships arguing with. Yeah, that's a muddy one, is the best way to put it. It's just 2 people that don't get along, and that's because they see differences. There's differences between them, just the way they look at things. The best way I can put it is I've actually worked at a place where I have a certain type of management style. My management style is I serve you. We're always happy. We're always joking. There was another gentleman I worked with. He was very strict. He didn't talk to a lot of people. He only got involved when he needed to. Two different management styles. Neither of them are wrong, just different. So, yeah. Yep. Yep. Reed said it. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we did that. I'll just go ahead and put it now. Normally, this is where I put some upcoming shows in. There are no upcoming shows for a few weeks. So we have a special guest joining us next week. That will be Bobby Flacco. He'll be on with us. If you have any questions for Bobby, of course, you know how it is. We're live. You can put him in chat right here. If you want to, when I post the announcement that Bobby will be coming on, you can post messages there. If you want to be completely anonymous, DM me. I'll ask the question for you. Not a problem whatsoever. Within reason, of course. I don't think there are many that have any questions out of bounds, but yeah, Bobby lives an interesting life. He likes to go travel, and we're going to be touching on his wrestling and his travel stuff, because as somebody at my age, I'm seeing him do things that I will never do, and I'm like, dude, that is gutsy as fuck. He goes some places I would literally just be like, we're turning around, we're going home. Hell no. Like, yeah, he don't have a family yet, and you can tell because he's going to some wild places. But
I would want to travel with him for like a month just to see all the crazy shit that he does. Like, he's got story. Like, I think out of anybody, he's like the Dos Equis man, like the world's most interesting man in wrestling right now, just because of all the cool experiences he does and like posts about and is able to do on a weekly basis.
We always bring people on for a certain reason. Bobby's on a come up. He's got an incredible story. He's good friends with us. We talk to him all the time. So it's just another one that fits. So here comes
I got like no wrestling questions.
8 or 9. You have no wrestling questions, or you do?
I want to hear about all the stories, and I just want to hear like all the like him. I want the behind the scenes of his vlog and stuff like that. That's what I want to see and hear.
He's gonna have a lot to tell us. I think he's got a lot out there. He's won some titles. I mean, let me see here real quick. Yeah, he's had a 7-year career. So I'm going to tell you right now, I really want to talk a little bit about the wrestling, but he's going to have some fucking stories. He went to some neighborhoods where they're like, you need to put down your fucking camera. Like, just don't even film right here. Don't even try. That's some shit. But yeah, that's what's going on. And according to B right now, it sounds like the week after that, October 8th, we're going to put together a fan forum. Yep. We're going to get that together. We'll look at the names and see who's there. Brant, this is going to be your fan forum kind of thing. This will be your first, right?
Well, I don't know. I know I didn't do the last
your first big
I
official.
had the issues. But yeah, well, I think we were on when we had like Wrestle Dads and Brett. Yeah, be aware, Brett comes on. Just a heads up, people that are new. Brett comes on. We might have to kick one person, but we'll bring you right back in if possible. So don't take it personally.
Yeah, please, absolutely not. And like I've told before, Alan and a couple others, I'm like, don't take it personal, guys. I do have to go through a rotation of names because I do want to make sure that every person that asks me gets on the show and gets the same amount of respect as every other person. So I'm just going to make sure that I give the same respect to everybody that I give to all of you. Respectfully.
I want some good booking ideas for the fan forum. I want War Games booking ideas. That's what I want. That's my main goal. I want to hear all the crazy ideas going on here.
Well, I do know for sure Alan has waited like 4 or 5 of these. It's definitely his turn in rotation. And we're going to go from there and see who else runs in. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Alan is a talker like me. Alan is a talker. No. Yeah, Brett, he may or may not come in. Sometimes he comes in on the fan forums. He could have been in here tonight. Brett, B and I kind of talk ahead of time and we talk about, okay, if he comes in, what are we going to do? How? He's just wonderful to us. And whenever he comes in, we consider it a treat for us and the fans. No lie. Or listeners will say, but we're all GCW fans. So that's where it puts us. Where we at? It is 10:25 on the West Coast. That puts us at what? 1:25 on the East Coast? 11, like 12, that, yeah. 1. Yeah, 1:25 on the East Coast. So yeah, 1:30. We have almost 700 listeners in here right now. So like I said, we got a small group full of, I mean, this is a nice venue full of people right now. So I just want to say thank you for everybody for coming in and listening tonight. We hope that everybody got a chance to say what they needed to say and heard a little something different from someone's perspective, whoever that may be. Thank you for everyone for listening. Tom Talks Rubbish had interviewed us both last week. I wanted to make sure that I let everyone know both Brent and I did separate interviews. They were personal interviews where we got to talk about who we are, our influences, how this all got started. If anyone has even just a little bit of interest, I hope you give that a look, just because it was very personal for both of us. And we've never explained ourselves or who we are before to anyone. We just sit down and talk. So this is one of the few times we've ever sat down and talked about ourselves and why. And man, we're all just fans. We're all just amateurs. We're all just fans. Nobody's special. We did something that ended up turning into something special, and we're thankful for that. And everyone's support. Thank you. Keep talking if you don't stop me.
All right. No, that was a good. The Tom Talked Rubbish. I went back and listened to how bad I was, and yeah, I think we got a lot
great,
of
man.
good. I think there's a lot of information that we both did that might be new to a lot of fans, because as you said, is more personal and not so much of the wrestling stuff. While we do have the wrestling stuff at the end, most of the stuff was personalized. And so, yeah, if you want to check it out and hear our story, kind of how we started the podcast and grew it from literally day one on to where we are now, please go check out Tom Talks Rubbish on YouTube. And I think we're one of the 2 most recent ones up there.
Well, we have a caretaker. Reed, are you a caretaker for the other Reed? Like, did you guys fight already? He's not the caretaker, bro. He's the undertaker. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you to everyone. And Tuesday can't come soon enough. We're going to definitely do this again. Like I said, next week, Bobby Flacco. Week after that, y'all, that's what's up. We're just going to do that. We'll give everybody a couple days heads up just so they know, so that it's not a surprise, and we'll go from there. Love y'all.
Thank you all again for tonight. Yeah, chat was hopping. A lot of good ideas, a lot of good talk and discussions, a lot of good information that we obviously always forget. But thank you all. Reed, Alan, great one. Frank, the other Reed in here.
Oh gosh, Ash was in here from GPW. Yeah, see, I can't keep going back. Frank, there was so much in chat. It's so hard to go back to the beginning.
See, now
I'm not kidding.
New messages I never saw at the beginning too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. This is kind of weird, guys. We actually end up seeing messages sometimes afterwards, but that's okay. That's
way
okay.
later. Yeah. Yes. Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for stopping in. And yeah, next week, Bobby Flacco. We got to get the dance going. We got to get something going for him.
Hell yeah. Let's do the damn thing.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. You ready to rock and roll, brother?
Let's send them out of here.
Oh, God. Here we go.
All right.
Long.
Oh, there
shit.
we go.
We're already off.
Live.
GCW.
W.
Love you guys. Have a great night.